Partha, what is the answer to the question I asked?
We are live.
Okay.
All right. Today is the last show for DCL PrimeTime. So it's a big show. As we reach the finals, we have Glads taking on Pokiris. There's a lot of hype and hoopla going around the town. DCL has been eagerly waiting to kind of host this event. We're going to talk about the event and the events and the activities that happen in the event. We're going to talk about the finals. We are going to start off analyzing the semifinals. We've also invited our proud sponsors, so we'll hear from them as well. Without their support, DCL Primetime wouldn't be what it is. And we are going to also hear from Satya and Biju, who are going to introduce us to the DCL finalists. We're going to hear about Glads and their journey, and maybe some color added to some of these players and their journey this year as well as over the years. So, are we going to start off with Bota? Is Bota joining?
Bota joining. He just texted me. Give him a minute.
Okay.
Oh, and Partha, by the way, Rashid also might be joining us.
Nice.
He did say that he's going to try to join. He didn't promise it, but he did say that he'll try his best to join. So it's a big weekend for Brownstown players, because Rehan Malik goes into the Hall of Fame, and Afsar Mujahid Ali, the ageless wonder, goes into the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Absolutely, yes. It's going to be a wake-up call. Hopefully, this can maybe wake up Brownstown, and we see it next year. Who knows? But yes, we'll wait for our sponsor. We want to hear from Pradeep Bota. I think he's getting on our show. But talking about his sponsorship, we've been able to give a $25 certificate to all our game changers of the week, courtesy of Akshaya Patra. And I would love if Pradeep could come on the camera, speak a little about his venture, his business, and why this sponsorship means a lot to him. So Pradeep, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your continued support here on DCL Primetime. We've wanted to invite you to the show. We wanted you to talk to you as well as give you the platform to talk about your business and how you support these DCL Primetime show. So I'll hand it over to you if you want to kind of give us some words about the business and what it means to you.
Yeah, so are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for inviting me on the show. It's been so long since I joined. You guys have been inviting me, but due to the busy schedule, I was not able to join. We started Akshay Patra. It's an Indian cuisine. I think most of you guys have already visited the restaurant. So it's doing good, and thanks for supporting Akshay Patra every week. You guys tell about Akshay Patra, and also I've been sponsoring for the Game Changer of the Week. So yeah, everything is going good so far. It's busy. That's a good sign. So yeah.
Awesome. And again, everyone would love to. Hopefully, DCL Primetime is also returning some favors, some business back to you. The Primetime, the Game Changers of the Week are coming, visiting your restaurant and having delicious food. So hopefully, there is mutual benefit for you as well.
Yeah. I see a lot of people coming and showing me that whatever Satya has shared with them, or whatever they acknowledged before Friday, I guess. So yeah, we've been giving that offer to them, and everybody are liking the food, and we're getting good reviews so far. So hoping for the best, and love to prolong this, mutual this thing for the upcoming years as well.
Yeah, Pradeep, talk to our audience why they should come to Akshay Patra. Talk to us about some specialties. Talk to us about what differentiates you guys from the rest of the Indian restaurants.
Yeah, so Akshay Patra, like we focus mainly on the menu, which is very small. We don't have extensive wide of dosas or idlis or all that stuff, but we focus mainly on the appetizers, the curries and biryanis. So our biryanis are the most famous over here. That's what we get the reviews from each and everyone, even the appetizers. So yeah, it's kind of like a small menu if you see it, but the thing that we are focusing is on the quality and the quantity. Other than that, we don't want to enlarge the menu with adding a lot of varieties over there. So whatever we have it, would like to provide good quality food. That's what we've been getting good feedback as well. So if we can maintain that quality, we should be good.
Awesome. Any special events? Anything you want to call out using this platform? Anything coming up?
Yeah, yeah, we do caterings, we do party events as well. So we do live dosas, live pav bhaji, all these things. So we've done a few marriage events as well as graduate events. So yeah, we do all the stuff that other restaurants do as well. So yeah, I mean, getting to know about Akshay Patra is the main thing in the initial years, right? So once people taste the food, they'll be back. That's what I believe.
Awesome. Thank you again. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. Anybody else wants to add to Pradeep?
Yeah, I have a question, Pradeep. Welcome to the show. Wonderful to see you. We were happy to have your good buddy Kiran on the show a few weeks ago, and then before that we had Hitesh also joined the show. And congrats on opening this restaurant. Maybe why don't you educate the DCL public as to how you guys, who are your partners? I think Amar is one of your partners, right? Who are your
No.
partners? And okay, I'm not sure who the partners are, but maybe just tell how this idea came about and the location of your restaurant in case somebody doesn't know where to go to get you guys, kind of a thing. And also I'm interested in what is the best dish in your restaurant. If I were to come to your restaurant and ask you, Kiran, give me your best dish, which would be the best dish you would recommend to me?
Yeah, so this idea came about probably mid of last year. So we were looking into um, any drive-through for Indian food or anything like a snacks or something like that. But we found out we heard that there's a what you call a venture that is coming up for sale. So we thought of okay, why not to try that? And then things worked out. Then few folks along with me, we wanted to open this restaurant business. And then in the mid because of their family or work load and things like that. So few people dropped out, but then four of us started. One of them is Anjur, and another couple of guys you might not know.
Okay.
They are my close buddies. So we
Okay.
started this, and yeah, we thought of starting this approximately around February 14, that is Valentine's Day. But due to some, uh, the tests and all, right, they don't go according to the plan, right? So they gave us appointment, some other time rather than what we thought. So that kind of delayed for a couple of months. But then we started in April 14th, to be exact. And then the best dishes are in biryanis. My favorite is the dum biryani and the special chicken biryani. And if you go to the goat, right, I like the mutton gyros biryani. And weekend specials are best sellers are donne, kalapakati. Those are the best sellers. And coming to the appetizers, in vegetable it is veg triple one. That's our best seller. And in non-veg it is chicken 65, fish supreme, all the tandooris, malai. Um, yeah, so those are our best sellers. So we are mostly famous for our biryanis.
Okay. Is this a chain or is this something just you started from scratch?
No, no, it's not. It's not a chain.
Okay. And the other question I had was I wanted to pass on that Arjun told me, and Arjun Ajmani told me that you guys were doing fabulously well. And obviously, your food is having high ratings. So I wanted to pass that along, saying that, one of my own teammates told me that you guys were doing fabulously well. So it's good to hear from you. We wanted to get you on the show long time back itself, because one of the things which we try to do on the show is, hey, we want it to be a win-win relationship, in the sense that, yeah, we are getting something, or we are passing along what you are passing along to the players, but at the same time, we want your business to do well, because that's how you grow a business, and that's how you have a winning partnership. So thank you for doing this. I'm sure most of the people claim their awards, but if they don't claim their awards, again, they are the losers, because you still get your publicity. But if they don't claim it, I always say, if Warren Buffett never leaves,
That was our
never,
thinking.
never leaves one penny on the ground, kind of a thing, or ever to waste, because that's ideal, kind of a thing. So thank you for doing this. I wanted to this thing, and I wanted to hand it over to Satish. Gabaji, you had any questions?
Yeah,
Yeah, just one.
before you move on, yeah. So you asked me the other question, right? Where are we located? We are located on the intersection of 12 Mile and Orchard Lake, just
Okay.
beside the car wash and the Wendy's. And
Okay.
coming to Arjun, right? So initially, like when we started this, we had like a lot of the miscellaneous work inside the restaurant, right? So Arjun kind of reached out to me and said congratulations before I told to the public that I started the restaurant. And then I thought, okay, it's a good time to ask him, like, if he knows some contacts for, like, kind of a handyman, electrician, or whatever. So he graciously, like, he sent over all the contacts that he had, because he has a lot of experience in the business, right? And not the food part maybe, but the other kind of business. So yeah, he forwarded a lot of contacts, as well as he gave me all this gyan that is needed for setting up a business, including
Oh,
the
I
loans.
I
Yeah,
didn't
all
I,
that.
I did not know that until you educated me. So it's good to
Yeah.
know that. I'll ask him, hey, what the deal is going on, kind of. But that's
There's no
good.
deal
That's
over
good.
there.
No, that's good. That's really good. If we can help each other out, that's the best kind of help which we can do. Satish, you wanted to ask any questions?
No, not really a question, because I have been to Akshay Patra a couple of times, and one of my favorite is veg triple one, and then Hyderabadi dum biryani. And I actually liked the one thing that Botta did not mention was the Wednesday offer, where they offer buy two get one free, or buy one get second 150% off, something like that. And those are very useful when if you're a biryani lover. So those Wednesday takeaway I generally prefer. So once again,
All right.
congratulations, Pradeep bhai.
So you are
Thank you,
telling
thank
me
you.
you go all the way from Troy to
Yeah,
12 Mile and Orchard Lake to get the two plus one offer?
no. I have been couple of times to the Farmington and over the weekend, and actually the very first day when they opened, and Pradeep has created a WhatsApp group, so I went on the very first day itself.
Okay.
Yep.
No, so this
So
Wednesday offer that you're taking, how are you
I
taking that?
I
Yeah.
like that
it's
offer.
corporate.
Sometime if I am around Farmington, I would love to go and get that. But if
Okay.
it is for the larger audience, if they doesn't
Okay.
know, Wednesday,
Okay.
all the Wednesday they are running this offer.
Okay. Good, good,
Yep.
good.
It's
Did our
very
friend
near
take?
to our it's very near to our Drake Sports Park. So
Yeah,
you know,
that's another thing. It's very near to our Drake Sport Park. So after the game, generally we used to go there.
So Satya,
awesome.
here's my next question. Did most of our awardees claim their awards?
I sent out, but Bota has to tell. I think most of them has did.
Yeah, most of them claimed.
Okay.
Last couple of weeks, people did not climb at all. So I know
Okay.
that, but I think at least in 12 games, at least 10 they should have climbed from
Okay.
me.
Okay.
So I think pre-quarters also they climbed. Quarters and semis they didn't climb. So that's it. Pre-quarters, quarters they didn't climb. So
But
Okay.
still ask them to come. That's okay.
yeah, yeah. Sure.
All right,
Thank
that's a great offer. So even
I said,
if you're yeah, go
you.
ahead. So I was going to say, even if the gift certificate was not redeemed, it was a while ago. You heard it from the owner. He's still happy to redeem it. So don't keep it
okay.
at home.
By the way, KK, do you have any questions for Butta before we let him go?
Well, one thing I would say is it's great to have folks from our cricketing community get into different ventures.
Okay.
And we all know Butta. The smile he brings when we see him on the field, off the field. So wish him all the very best.
The
And
smile is that the smile is for his team. The other team is not smiling when he's playing.
so,
Okay.
but overall, it's great to have you here. And
Yeah.
sorry about that earlier audio. One of the captains was dropping off the trophies. I forgot
Okay.
that.
KK is a busy man with the finals coming up.
All
The logistics is handled. All the trophies come to KK's house. All right. Thank you so much, Pradeep. You're welcome to stay to the show. We're going to have some exciting conversations around the finals. We're going to talk about obviously about the semifinals. But before we go there, we have our second sponsor, Mr. Chetan Thakkar. Chetan, welcome to the show. You've been a supporter of DCL Primetime from the very get-go, from the time we started. And you've been very gracious of providing us with analysis prediction awards, which kind of generates a lot of enthusiasm, not only amongst our analysts, but also now that we've opened it up to the community. There is a lot of gamesmanship going on throughout the week with the prediction. So thank you again for joining us. I see you in your Glad's uniform, which I'm sure you'll be very proud of displaying today, in anticipation of the finals. So, talk to us about, first of all, talk to us about, your sponsorship, what it means to you. And then obviously, I'll give you the stage also to talk about Glads and, how excited you are.
Definitely. Just want to make sure am I audible? Is it voice is clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So first of all, thank you for having me on the show. Very excited to be here, and I see some familiar faces. Parthiv, we go a long time back. Obviously, we have Viju
Chetan,
Bhai,
your buddy
Gaba
Naeem
and
Afridi.
PK. So, sorry.
Chetan, your buddy Naeem Afridi says, "Wow, Godfather is on the show live."
So I had a question. Later, checking the knowledge you guys have about DCL history, but if time permits, I was going to ask.
Surely.
I think we'll keep that for later. But first of all, let me thank you. This is a very well-run show. This DCL Primetime show is one of the shows I'm very excited about. Honestly, today is Thursday night football, but I'm a big football fan. But my preference would be to watch the DCL night show over anything else. And you guys do an amazing job because you not only run all the stats from the matches that happen the week before, you go with the predictions, right, of the games, and also you focused on the games that are coming up, showcase game of the week, bring guests, right, that makes it more exciting. You bring captains from two teams and share their experience or their plans for the coming games. So it's all very exciting and very well done. And I know I have not met Gaba, KK personally, but amazing job, really. Hats off,
Thank you.
right? So that's where I want to start with. And then coming back to my sponsorship, see, this is my way of connecting back to DCL, right? Michigan is my hometown. That's what I tell Viju Bhai. Even I live Michigan, it's my hometown. California is my second town, but my hometown will always be Michigan. So this gives me an opportunity to be connected, right, with the show, do the best I can. And the business, coming back to business, this is primarily run by my wife, Neha. So she has a eco-friendly dinnerware, right, business. So she's been running for the last 7 years, and she has been successful so far, right? So she is growing within the US. Primarily, her markets are in West Coast. Right now, she is going to diversify more, East Coast and Midwest. So everything positive, and hope it continues to grow. Right. So
Yeah, just to remind people, the eco-friendly product that you are talking about is the green sapling,
mhm.
green-sapling.com. If you're
That's
interested
right.
in, if our audience wants to, explore and maybe order some eco-friendly stuff and reduce the plastic that is going around, that would be a great service to the community. So
Yeah, very good
maybe,
point, Parthiv. Right, this is a great alternative to paper and plastic. This is made of palm leaf, so it's fallen leaves, and the product comes from India. So this
oh wow,
product is actually exported, and we help distribute within the US. And actually, I was thinking, one of the DCL events, we can have our plates sponsored for, yeah, right, for the event, right. So that's something I was thinking, but it goes very quickly. But maybe one of the DCL events we can have eco-friendly dinnerware, right? So people also can experience it. So thank you for bringing this up, right? This is the website we have, and all the products are there. It's a wide range of products, right? Different sizes, and not only they are a good alternative. This product can be used in the microwave. You can heat it up, right. It's actually holds both the solid and liquid, but if you
okay,
are using for liquid, I don't suggest it to be reusable for hygienic purposes, right. It would be more like a disposable. But if you have some dry products, right, snacks, appetizers, if you use, I don't see any harm in reusing those plates also. So it's very, no chemicals, so it's totally natural. That's why we call it as a eco-friendly product, right? So,
yep.
so yeah,
Yeah, that is a great alternative. As I said, something that we might look into, future DCL events.
yeah,
We do quite a, to be honest, we do quite a bad job with the plates and the bottles and the cups and stuff. So would love to see if we can reduce the waste and see if we can use some eco-friendly stuff in our events.
definitely, definitely, right. I think we have some customers in Detroit also, right? So we have some small market, but we definitely want to grow as much as we can, right, across US. So that's our focus, right? So I primarily help my wife from an operations perspective, right? My role is limited. She is the chief executive officer, and she runs the entire show. I help her as and when needed from an operations perspective.
Thank you so much again for sponsoring our predictions and continued support for DCL Primetime. Now, getting to the question of the week, tell us how do you feel about the finals? I know you're in your uniform, so obviously there is no question about who you're supporting. But talk to us about you guys have won 2 championships. This is the third potential championship. How different does it feel?
So gladiators have grown as a team over several years, right? And what I see is our foundation has got stronger and stronger, right? We are able to bring good talent, right? We have a core foundation, and we are able to capitalize on it, right? Every year we don't make the finals, but I feel that the strength of the team continues to grow. So that's a big plus, and thanks to not only Vijubai, but there is a lot of things that go Satya supporting from a captain perspective, and all the talent we have support as a team, right, to be successful. So I always tell Vijubai, I'm glad to be connected to Vlad's team, even after being away from, right, Detroit. Now coming back to finals, I think it will be an exciting finals, right? Pokiris is also a tough competitor, right? So I'm hoping it's an exciting final, right? The best team wins. Definitely, I'm a Glads fan, so I will vote for Glads. But the team that plays best, right, should win the game, right?
Yep.
So let's see what happens, right? And it's like 30 teams, right? We have in this year.
39.
39.
Sorry, right? And having coming and being the top 2 teams itself is a big achievement, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of good teams, right, were there, but when the playoff comes, it takes a lot of things to go through and make to the final. So I think we have an opportunity here. We should capitalize it, right? But it's again, everything can happen on a given day. So let's hope for the best.
Absolutely. It's going to be a nail biter. I think 3 times finalists Pokiris take on 2-time champions Gladiators. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be a nail
Yeah.
biter. Hoping like if all the neutral spectators are waiting for that game, all the buzz that is going around in all the different WhatsApp group, you can see people
Right.
are anticipating a cracker. And the weather is awesome. I mean, that was one thing the committee was very, very skeptical about.
Right.
This summer we've had unprecedented rain through, and especially during the weekends. So we were a little skeptical, but from everything that it looks like awesome peachy day.
Yeah,
So,
especially it's right a whole day, right? I think the match is the
yeah,
critical piece, right? But there are
right,
a lot of events that are planned, so having a good weather helps out, right? So definitely, and I think this is a perfect weather. I think
right.
Michigan is at prime time. I've been right in Michigan, so it's not too cold, not too hot. I think it's perfect fall weather. Maybe I don't know how the temperature is, but it should be a good game of cricket. Right?
Yep.
So,
Right.
one
Yep.
other
We
thing
are
I
watch it. I know you cannot come to the game, but we have a live streaming. We have live commentary, so hopefully you'll enjoy that during
definitely.
the event.
I,
All
I
right.
I actually do it every weekend when we
Every
have a
glad.
glad game. I have it going on my big screen. I
Oh,
watch as
nice.
much as I can because I'm in West Pacific time zone, right? So I
Right.
benefit from it. Family is
Correct.
still sleeping. By the time they get up, the game is done. So I am really happy. No disturbance and watch the game peacefully. But other
Nice.
thing I wanted to bring up, this is
Yes.
something that I was thinking last night, right? The DCL contest we do, right? Actually, I wanted to talk about the contest also, right? So definitely you as analysts, right, do it very competitively. Still, it's very close, right? I think we don't have a winner yet, right, for both,
Yes.
for the panel here and also for the extended community. So that itself says, right, that's so competitive. In fact, I looked at the numbers for the contest outside the panel. There are like 60 plus people, and I was
Yes.
looking at the points, 1 or 2 point difference. So I think the finals is going to tell Satya where the money is going to go because Satya has it right with him. It's
I
a
have
matter of knowing who the winner is, right? So it will go to the right person. So I think Gaba will be happy because I think the last weekend Glads win. I think put Gaba in a special position. I don't know how close it is, but
It is 1 point
One
difference.
point.
Finals
1
will
point.
decide
So,
80 and
Satya, are we able to reveal right now what is Gaba's pick and what is Parthiv's pick? Because if they both pick the same thing, then we know that Gaba is the winner. But we do not know because right now it's a secret vote. But now,
Let's reveal it right there.
yeah, right now you can reveal it. Why keep the anticipation till the end, right? I mean, there's nothing secretive because right now it can't be changed.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is
204.
very right. Gaba is 204. So Parthiv is pretty close. Viju is also. I think KK and Satya, I don't think have a chance now.
Oh,
Yeah.
KK, you don't even talk about KK.
KK
Man. I
didn't
mean,
predict
it's-
so he
KK
became
didn't
winner.
won the award last time though, right? So KK won it last year, I remember.
Well,
One
last
thing,
winner.
my quarterfinals actually, pushed me
Yeah,
back
wrong.
because I picked 3 wrong picks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
quarterfinals
know
wrong.
it's tricky.
Okay.
So here
And
is
the
the
last
thing.
weekend, I was not sure.
Yeah.
Last weekend, I was not sure if I'll be umpiring a game. So I said, I'm not predicting. So I'm already behind, and that's also
Okay,
another reason.
so at least we know one thing. We know one thing. The great Vicky, he was over smart. Do you know how he was over smart, Partha? What he did
Yeah,
last week was what is an amazing thing. All right, after the show was over, he saw his friend, his good buddy Raghu, and Imti had picked Glad. So right, so he also had picked Glads. But guess what? He went and changed it to Indus. You get my point? And of course, that didn't work out. So what happens is now he's not even on the leaderboard. So,
Well, you have to take chances. I guess he wanted to.
One
so
thing
now
to notice, right? 13 versus 12.
KK,
It is a nail
It
biter.
is when it's
Nail
Glads.
biter, 13 versus 12, right? 13 people predicted
So,
Glads and
yeah,
12
that's
Pokiris.
total 23. We
Where
got
is where is
13
Gaba and
Glads.
Parthiv going to go? Are they deciding? Did you guys put in your vote or
Yeah,
not
we
yet?
have put in our
Yeah.
word.
Here we go, Parthiv.
Oh,
Parthiv is over.
I wanted a challenge.
okay.
See, I knew this. I knew this.
No, No, but this is why, Gaba, I told you, if I were you, I will pick Pokiris and I would neutralize Parthiv. You get my point?
What did I tell you, Vijubhai? I wanted to beat Parthiv not just with 1 point. I wanted to beat him with 3 points.
Thank you for making it a contest. Thank you.
Okay.
So what if it's a tie? What if it's a tie?
Yeah,
How
actually,
to
that is
follow,
a
right?
good point, KK. I was thinking, right?
If
there are times when you have to distribute the money.
you're going to have a winner either ways, right? Because you're going to have a 5 over knockout.
Yes. Yeah, we are going to have
The tie of the game. But what if the points tie? The points will not
Point
tie.
won't tie.
Points cannot tie.
Okay. So
There's no
that
chance
means
for
there's
the
a
points
clear
to tie.
winner for the analyst. Okay.
Yeah, there is a clear winner. It's going to be either Gaba or Parthiv. Now, Satya, can you back up a bit and see what I was a 202, right?
Yeah.
So I can technically go into number 2 spot, right? If Glads win, I can go into number 2 spot. Oh, that'll be pretty sweet. The guy sitting 10,000 miles away is taking the number 2 spot. These fellows need to go and jump into the Detroit River. These 2 guys need to go and don't even.
Which 2 guys?
No. 2 guys are you, Mr. KK, and Mr. Parthiv needs to jump into the Detroit River. With regards to Satya, it's not the Detroit River, baby. He needs to jump into the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, he needs to jump into the Atlantic Ocean.
I'll come and jump and grab Bengal with you.
Because every year he's in the last place. Now, the last 3-4 years we have held this contest. Every year he is last. Now, anybody who is last every year needs to jump into the Atlantic Ocean.
I don't predict teams. I predict people. So you have to win people.
Whatever you are predicting, it is a wrong strategy, my friend. If I were you, I would have changed the strategy. I would have dumped the strategy long time back.
Okay. So it's same outside. Imti predicted Glass, Raghu predicted Pokiris. So it's going to be the same. They're going to switch. So whoever.
Wow. Really good.
You know what?
It's going to be very close, right? This is very
what,
close.
Gaba? Last week I said I have your back, right?
Yes.
This week I have Imti's back, baby. I have Imti's back, baby.
No, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, I have Imti's back, baby, this week.
So, Viju, Glads and me winning both together then.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going on the. I knew that Gabaji was going to pick Glads. So
I knew that you were going to pick Pokiris. I did talk to Viju by this afternoon. I told Parthiv will pick Pokiris.
Obviously, only then there will be a contest.
And I told Viju by that Parthiv knew that I'll be picking Glads only. You knew that.
Parthiv, I told him, if you want the $250 right now, just go and pick Pokiris. I told him the word of advice also. And then he said, no. I want to win, royally. I said, all right.
Okay, as I said, it is good that we at least have a contest.
I actually wanted to make
Parthiv, just the game changer of the week. Okay.
Yes. Let's go. Before we go there, don't we want to go to the semifinals?
Yeah, actually, one more
already
thing I
done.
wanted to bring up, guys. I think this is related to contest. So
Yes.
I was thinking this last night. I have an idea or a proposal. So, you guys are like 5 analysts, right? Helping with this contest predicting. What I want to do is I want to come as the 6th outsider analyst next year, and I want to defend my prize money. And if you guys are willing to accept the offer, then we can raise the ante. We can raise the prize money if you guys allow me to come as the 6th analyst to help protect my money. So if you take the challenge, I'll let you know what the prize money would be.
Okay, I'm in.
You in, KK?
I'm in.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
But now, Chetan bhai, now don't tell me $252. Okay,
No.
It needs to be minimum $100.
Yeah. So let's do it $350 for next year, right? We will continue the contest.
351.
Yeah.
It is already 251, right?
Yeah, and we
So
will
351.
make sure that I am also in the analyst panel. So I'll do my best to defend the money, right? So let's make it competitive. Let's see how this goes. I have a good understanding, but you guys are like too deep rooted. So I want to see where I stand, and I can defend my money.
let me see if I got this correct. All right.
Okay.
What you're asking is not to come on the show, but rather you're saying that you're going to air your mail your picks or send your picks to Satya or whatever it is, and your name is going to come along with the other 5 names, right?
That's right. Right.
And so throughout the year, throughout the season, you'll be picking, and at the end of the season, if you are the number 1 analyst, then none of us gets any money. That's fair enough. You are the number 1 analyst. You get to keep your own money.
That's
But
right.
if one of us gets it, we get the $351, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted. I think that's a very fair deal. Actually, it's a deal which really favors us more than you.
Okay. So I think, that's why, at least it gives me an opportunity. I know the deal is in your favor, but let's see what happens. Right? I have some insider people who can give me some information. So let's see what happens.
All I know is I don't care if you have God's lieutenant as your insider. All right, you can have God's lieutenant as your insider, but guess what? The top analysts here, excluding Satya, are a mean bunch.
I know you guys are competitive, right? That's why it's so close. Let's see what happens next year, right? I'm not saying that.
Just
the
one
four
word
of
of advice.
The 4 of us are pretty much the smartest cookies in the whole basket.
Agree, right? So I'm taking a tough challenge. I'm increasing the ante, so I know what I'm coming against, right? So let's see what happens.
Yeah, just make sure those insiders are not the same insiders that work with Viju.
No. We'll make it a fair play. I'm going to not tap to you guys, right? I can't do that, right? That is conflict of interest, Parthiv. So there are other sources also.
Perfect. Okay. All right, that we accept the challenge, and I think we'll be happy to have another analyst, join us as well. So great.
Perfect.
It's a fair deal. It's a fair deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. For last week, the semifinals, we have Saranraj Balasubramaniam as the game changer of the week for his innings or for Pokiris versus the Fighters. I think his game, his batting, I think changed the complexion of the game. I think he scored 26 and he picked up a couple of wickets as well. So congratulations, Saran. And please make sure that you get in touch with Satya to collect your $25 gift certificate from Akshaya Patra. All right. Where are we going to the semifinals now? Or are we going? Yeah, let's go to the semifinals if you want to bring up. So both these semifinals were quite a good contest, even though I feel, they didn't live up to the scorecard, which I was expecting, especially in the Thunders and Gladiators. I was expecting a little higher scorer. And at one stage, at least I was looking at the scorecard. Indus did look like, they were on the course of at least scoring around 100, getting close to 100 with Praveen and Chetan starting. But after that, the wickets kept tumbling one after the other, and it was really. I don't know whether it was something which was under they were under some sort of pressure, or was it the scoreboard that they wanted to kind of post a big score, and in that situation ended up scoring even less than what they could have scored. Sometimes batting first, I feel like sometimes that takes over. You want to score more than what you feel you need, and in that situation you end up scoring much lesser than you would have if you had just played according to the situation. But I think the standout in this in the last playoff games, I think Shan and Jeet have been superb. They've been amongst the wickets all along the tournament, and I feel like they are the go-to bowlers. Obviously with Aditya in between, but between these three, I think the wickets keep tumbling, and obviously, you have your support bowlers as well. But after that, I feel like Anup controlled the innings very well, and then support towards the end by Taif. Even though I know, Viju, you had butterflies in your tummy till the last run was scored. I thought Glads had it once. They were, that like what 40 odd for 4 something. After that it was not going to be, another collapse. So congratulations, Gladiators. Even though I predicted Thunders, it was the odd year. Remember I told you the pattern. The pattern didn't continue. So over to you, Satish Bhai.
I think I spoke to Viju Bhai. The pattern still continues. If you see, they are winning in every after 4 seasons. So this is
Oh, okay.
so that is where
But,
Glad is thinking that they have high chances to win.
by the
Because
way,
1 year,
Parthiv, I didn't come up
2000.
with that. I didn't come up with that this thing of the streak, because it was the Glad skipper who told me every 4 years we win, and I'm like, how in the world is 2023 a fourth year? Because we won in 2014 and then we won in 2018. He said, Vichu, 2020
Oh,
there was no season.
oh wow.
So 2023 is the fourth season. You get my point? So
Okay.
so every 4 seasons, so in other words, one of the streaks was going to break. Either your streak was going to break or the Glad streak was going to break. All right, Gaba Bhai,
Yeah.
continue.
So on this game specifically, I was watching this live, and Praveen and Chetan was looking very comfortable, and they are playing Jeet and Aditya. And I think what Parthiv I missed is Javed bowling. I think Javed got the first breakthrough when he got Praveen Bangira out, and from there they still, I think, 12 over 35 36 on 1 wicket. Indus was looking very strong. They were easy. They were based on what I was seeing, that 90 plus score. I was thinking that they will be easily to get there from there 35 for from 1 to 90 in 25 overs. I was thinking that they might get in 90 plus, and that would be a really good score. But after first wicket, the way Jeet and Shan and Aditya got the 4-5 wickets so quickly, that is where they got into 69 runs. So I think credit first thing. Getting breakthrough from the Jawad and then finishing up with Shan and Jeet and Aditya was fabulous. On the same note, Indus, where in the middle order did not support specifically Manoj wicket was very crucial, if I would say. Manoj was the one guy who actually looks always good, and in the big match player, that's what I always feel. When he got out, I thought now it will be a little tough for Indus to put that 90 plus, and they might ended up close to 75 or 80, and I think that is where they ended up. On the same note, Glads also, Anup was fabulous. The way he was playing, so smooth, no trouble at all by any of the bowler. But if you see a couple of those Shan run out was amazing fielding. It was a really good throw, a direct hit, and Shan got run out right there. And still, I see, Udit and other people, they tried to hold the inning, but they were having wickets here and there. And Anup and specifically Taifur, when Taifur came, run was like 35, 40 runs, and they still need to score another 30 runs. But Taifur again, he was so smooth without taking any pressure. He played just like a normal game and scored those 16 comfortable runs. And he picked all his shot. He generally tried to play a cross shot, right? And he did not refrain playing those cross shot. He still was very comfortable to play those shots and scoring on those leg area. And again, Jawad supported Taifur really well. So overall, I think if 20 plus run would have been made a difference, is what I think in this particular game. But the way in the Glads has bowled on those middle over from 12 to 16, 17 over, got them this game. Over to you, Vijay. Okay.
Yep, I will add few additional details here, right? Especially in the second innings when Glads were chasing, Taif and Hardeep were batting, and at that point, Taif tried to go for a glory shot, and then you can see it in the video that Hardeep comes and says, "Hey, you're not doing this. You're not doing this." And Taif was walking away. He made Taif wait there and he said it again. You're not doing this. Play straight. Play straight. But when Hardeep got out, I thought that was part of bother because you're 6 down and you have 4 more wickets. And then Taif really played well with the help of Jawad. And Jawad was also playing, I would say, per the merit of the ball. And they took the game, easily at the end because they needed 2-3 runs and over. And I see Aditya, shouting from that dugout in Hindi, "Eki run jaye, 2 run jaye," and Indus were in a spot of bother because of those early wickets, right? When they batted, everyone from outside in the ground, they were expecting 85, 90 runs to be a good total on that pitch. But they ended with 20 runs less, and I think that costed the game. But again, kudos to the way Glad's bowlers bowled. I see only 4 extras in this game. So that is what will matter in the final as well. We'll talk about it when we get there. But yes, a great job in this game. And there was a comment which was passed along there saying that on one side it was Glads versus Indus, 5 crowns, 5 championships between them playing in one ground, and in the other ground it was Pokiris versus Fighters with a 0 championship. Well, it was a great game. It lived up to its expectation. So there. Over to you, Vishwa.
Where's our friend Parthiv? I don't see him on this thing. But Satya, can you move to the other view where I don't have to see this desktop? I want to see Parthiv's face, you see.
I'm here.
Okay, you're there, right? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, KK, I asked you this question in our WhatsApp group, right? I think the toughest question I faced this year, question I faced was in the very first show, where you came and asked me, which of Glads have lost 3 out of the last 4 games. And we had lost to MCC Miles, and then we lost to Strikers. Then we won against Patriots, and then we lost again to who's this? Who did we lost? Stars, right? So we had lost 3 out of the 4 games, and you asked me this question: is this the lowest that Glads has ever been, and do you really have a problem right now? All right. I looked at it, and I remember I did not duck that question because. Only a coward ducks questions. You get my point? There are going to be tough questions which are posed. The question is, how do you respond to those questions? And ducking is not the way. Ducking is not going to solve any problem. All right? If there is a problem, you have to face it square on. And I tell this to Satya all the time, that if there is a problem, let's address it and let's move on. You get my point? And so I remember answering that question as truthfully as possible. And I always felt that, and I'm going to ask you this question, and I asked you this question in our WhatsApp group. If a team loses 3 out of 4 games, as Glads have lost to Strikers, all right? And I even told you the years in which we lost those games. And and you did not give me the answer, but you said you will give me the answer on the show. And I told you in 2023, 2021, and in 2016, Glads have lost to Strikers. Glads beat Strikers only in 2019. So that means 3 out of 4 games we have lost to Strikers. Does Glads have a striker problem? Answer the question to me.
To be very honest, currently no. The reason is 2021, yes, Strikers beat the best Glads unit that is on the field.
Okay.
Look at 2023. I was looking at the scorecard. How many of those folks who played on the Gladiators unit would fit into a playing 12 in a playoff game?
Wouldn't most of them fit?
You're not playing your best unit. But yes.
No. 2021's, if you take that scorecard, most of them would fit into the 2023 unit too.
But that's not the best unit. That's what I wanted to say.
That's not the unit? Why is it
That's not the best unit that you can field in a playoff game. Yes, it was a league game. We understand. Both the teams probably don't come with the best playing units. And also it was April, where the temperature was cold. It was at its peak. But the pitches were not good.
Nevertheless, 3 out of 4 games constitutes a problem, doesn't it?
Big one.
Did we lose him? I think we lost him. Yeah. Okay, let me ask you, Gaba Bhai, 3 out of 4 if you lose, is that a problem?
I have a different opinion that April atmosphere, temperature, all this for both the teams. Okay,
Yes.
and that day, specifically for this specific year, whatever the memory that I have, striker played really good. Okay, the way they bowled and wrapped Glads out, it was fabulous. So let's give credit where it due.
Yes.
Striker played better cricket and they won.
Yes.
And
That's all I'm trying to get at.
Four out of 3 times if they are winning, that means it's not mean that striker overall is a better team. It's just that Glads not able to play, and most of the time you failed in the batting side.
Yeah, Glads have a striker
not able
problem.
to play striker kind of bowling.
Yeah, so for example, Federer used to lose to Nadal over and over and over again, right? Because the Nadal forehand goes to the Federer backhand, and until Federer could improve his backhand, it was a lopsided contest. And then, once that backhand improved, at least leave the French Open. But if you take the Australian Open or the US Open or whatever it is, Federer was getting the better of Nadal. But my point being that when we lose 3 out of 4 games to strikers, we have a striker problem. Well, why did I say this? Because remember last game, and I'm not going to take anything away from Indus, because Indus is a fabulous unit. You don't win 3 championships if you're not a fabulous unit, all right? But at the same time, I have to admire Sandeep Gopu, because I'll tell you what, Gopu, I remember in 2016 or something like that, they lost to Glads, all right, 26 all out. And that bothered Sandeep Gopu, all right? As far as I was concerned, it was a walkaway, easy victory for Glads in 2016. 26 all out was almost like 21 all out for Red Devils, so it was a cakewalk. But then 2017, Gopu came and challenged me, and that's why I admire the guy, because it is easy to hide behind something, but he doesn't. He challenged me and said, you know what, we are going to beat you guys. I did not take it seriously. Because just the previous year we had 26 all out is a whipping, Mm-hmm. But sure enough, they won in 2017, and that made me go back on 2018 and say that Glads will take care of business. And sure enough, we took care of business, and it once again was a whipping. Come after that, we have never played Indus, all right? 2023, Gopu has been waiting to play Indus, and he told you that on the show. And I also said, you know what? Let's bring it on. Let's bring a challenge on. And so going into the game, I remember telling Mansab, you need to have game face on. I want you to bring out the Novak Djokovic in you. I want controlled aggression. I want you to go after them, and I want controlled aggression. And to the entire Glads unit, starting with Satya, I told him, no letdown in the aggression portion of it, because we want to bring the Novak Djokovic out of it. And so last show, I told you, Gababai, that I have your back. I told you I have your back. I have your back. I have your back. And you know what? Our friend Parthiv had Indus winning. Now, I went out and did a Novak Djokovic. I had the Glads team do a Novak Djokovic by doing ruthless aggression. And that is how they went from 36 for 1. And you go and take the Banguera wicket. That was the key turning point, if you ask me. Banguera got out to an absolutely fabulous catch from Udit. Udit took a fabulous blinder of a catch. In fact, I would have sent it for catch of the year if it was not this late in the season. So that's why we did not send it in, but it deserved to be in this thing. Whether it deserves to win
Sorry, Vijay, but talking of catches, it is not recorded on the video, but whoever witnessed the catch which Satya took of Sandeep Gopu is a standout.
Okay.
It's a one-handed blinder.
Okay.
Yep, it was coming fast, but it was a full-length stretch, and I think he got it.
By the reaction of the team, I felt it was a fabulous catch, but I couldn't see it. You get my point? But I got to see Banguera's catch taken by Udit. But nevertheless, it is those 2 catches which really set the situation where you are 1 down after the end of 12 overs, and then we took it all the way, remaining 9 wickets. But again, I remember I sent you guys this thing of somebody telling me Viju, Chetan Dushyant is living up to the high praise that you have had for him. And anytime I say something about some player, and if it comes out, there are lots of people paying attention to whatever I'm saying. And sure enough, whatever I said about Chetan Dushyant, it was no fabrication. It was no exaggeration. I always felt that the key to beating Indus was to get Chetan Dushyant out of the way. And until you can get Chetan Dushyant out of the way, you can't break into that team. And that's the honest truth. And sure enough, the moment we got Chetan Dushyant out, I think it was on the 13th over or the 14th over, then, you know, that crack started opening wider and wider and wider. And the next thing you know, we are driving a back truck through it.
I have a couple of questions if you guys want.
No, can I finish this?
Yeah.
Can I finish this? Because you know what, Parthiv? We turned on Novak Djokovic type of aggression. And I made sure Gaba wins the analyst award. At least I have done my part to make sure that he overtakes you. And how does Novak Djokovic celebrate after winning a match? Do you know how he celebrates? You know it very well. He rips his shirt off, baby. He rips his shirt off. Okay? He rips his shirt off. Okay? This is what he does. He rips that damn shirt off. You know why? So that I can be the Grim Reaper who comes after your soul. I told you I was going to come after your soul, baby. I told you I was coming after your soul. I am the Grim Reaper, baby. Take that.
Wow.
That's some energy, Vijay. Satya, if you win this,
You know,
I want to see
my shirt has gone for the toss.
You doing that. Chetan
This
bhai has
means
something to
they can
speak.
do the same on the field.
Chetan bhai, any comment on that moment that we just witnessed?
I think now Chetan Bhai needs to sponsor a shirt as well.
I shared on the black one. Now I know what his plan was. Well,
Okay, good.
Wow.
Okay.
the shirt was not matching with the black and red he had. It was looking very odd. I said, "What is Viju doing with this blue striped shirt and black and red hat?"
Yeah, because you know why I didn't want anybody to faint by showing my chest, my bare chest. Okay, that's why I put another shirt on top of the black this thing. But I needed the black background to show Parthiv that I am the Grim Reaper.
Well, you have to prove it yet again, one more time this Saturday. But after this Djokovic moment, I think every other moment on the show will be dull. So it's hard to get.
Oh, yes. I was about to answer the previous question which Viju asked. I think I had a bad connection then. I was actually looking at that scorecard, Viju, when you asked me.
Yeah.
5 of your regulars are not in that game. Redwan played the game. Swarup Patel played the game. Imran Work played the game. Gautam played the game. And you only had 11, which means you played with 6 regular players and it's not your full-length squad. That's why I feel so. No disrespect to strikers. Strikers beat the hell out of Glads in that particular game. But if it was playoffs, it would have been different. And yes, league games,
you know what?
can't really read much.
The next time the strikers guys come against us, I'm going to send another Novak Djokovic moment to Parthiv.
Well, I at least don't have to.
I think we'll have to wait until 2025 at least for that, because due to the division system, maybe strikers will fall into the second.
You guys are relegating them to. I mean, come on, man.
We'll come the backdoor entry next.
No.
No.
I'm going to ask for a government change. We'll
give you a better option. We'll give you a better option. Division 1 team can choose to be in Division 2.
Well, I from the grapevine, I know Linga is.
And we'll have all 12 games with the government change. All the 12 games.
From the grapevine, what do you know?
Yeah, Linga might be contesting the election. He wants to remove the corrupt committee.
Oh, is it okay?
Well, see, if at all, Glads want to play in Division 2, all 12 weeks we'll have Glads versus Strikers.
Oh, by the way, Parthiv, how did your matchup with the great mix-up and go?
Oh, I missed the match. I couldn't go to that game.
So you did not. So you did not.
I played, but we played, but it
They lost to you.
No, we lost, but we didn't have that intensity. Nobody really wanted to play a contender. So It wasn't the same.
So you're saying that Mixapan was dancing with Rune there, huh? All right. Very
There
good.
wasn't much intensity. It was early morning game, so there wasn't much. But I did have a couple of strategic questions which I had prepared for the Indus Gladiators game. One, and this is more for Jeet. For Satya. So you had Jawad who broke that partnership, but he only bowled 2 overs. Why did you not continue with him?
So he was. I gave him. Actually, he and me, we were bowling at the 9th to 12th over somewhere. Mm-hmm. So after the second or third change. So after the game, after the wicket, it was 12 overs done. Then we went for the break, and once we back, we want to give the pace bowlers. So that's what we were speaking. So when Sean and Jeet, they were picking wickets, I could not able to stop them. Then I could not able to go back to Jawad at all.
Makes sense. And then the other question I had was, what's the role of Mansab Butt in Gladiators?
He is Novak Djokovic. By the way, Parthiv, you want to know how competitive that guy is?
I know. I already know.
No. This is a new level of competition, which I had not even imagined. All right. Let me tell you something. That Mansab Butt, all right, he watches every second of this show. So remember, on the last show, when Glads played Red Devils, I happened to say that our fastest bowler was not Jeet, our fastest bowler was not Mansab, but rather the fastest bowler was Shan. And I honestly felt in that game, Shan was bowling faster than everybody else. Guess what? As soon as the Indus game is over, Mansab texts me in the WhatsApp group of the Glads WhatsApp. By the way, Viju, did you like my pace? How do you like that? Huh? And how fast was I today? And sure enough, he was the fastest bowler in the last game. So now I'm going to challenge all of them. Show me, all three of you. I have Michael Holding, Andy Roberts, and Malcolm Marshall. And all three of them are going to put on a show in this final. And I'm going to ask them, I want to see which of those three guys are the fastest. We'll see. We'll find out the answer.
Yeah. But my question was more around his role. We all know, everybody in DCL probably knows, he's very destructive in both his batting and bowling, more so in the batting, where he's changed games for Brownstown and Sterling Strikers, and several other tournaments, even against Gladiators. I remember that one game where he changed the complexion of the contest. Is that the role that he's going to fill in? That come the situation, he's going to come in and try to whack the ball out of the ground?
So
I think in this game, the way we looked at it was, as long as Mansab was there, we were about 11 runs away. All it takes is 2 hits from Mansab to finish the game. And if somebody else can finish the game, Mansab himself felt he was given the opportunity to go. He said, let Jawad go and let us see how that turns out, and keep me pending. So that's exactly what happened. But we knew that as long as Mansab is there, if he gets two balls, the wrong ball sent to him, it's ending out of the park. So I think that's a great luxury to have, and I think I'm happy that we have that luxury.
Nice. Okay. All right. Any other question anybody has before we move to the second semi-final?
I just wanted to give a shout out to Indus. I mean, yes, they have lost 3 out of 4 games to Glads, and they have a Glads problem right now, because the last 4 games they have lost 3 out of 4 to Glads. But they are a champion team. And guess what? I am not ripping a shirt off for an ordinary team. Parthiv, there's no way I'm going to rip that expensive shirt for an ordinary team. If I am beating an ordinary team, I'm not doing that. It has to be a special team for me to do that, because Parthiv, beating Pokiris would not be the same like beating Indus, because Indus is a champion. Okay. Pokiris need to prove that they are a champion. All right. As far as I'm concerned, Pokiris run from their own shadow. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you, until Pokiris can handle the tough questions, which they have not shown the ability to handle the tough questions, that is going to be the question mark, which is always going to be around them. And, we speak about it in the WhatsApp group. I'm just telling you publicly what everybody is talking in the WhatsApp group.
Well, you have definitely ignited the fire, and if Pokiris are listening, I'm sure they are going to feel the challenge accepted. Whether they prove it on the ground is a different case, but the gauntlet is thrown by Viju. Will Pokiris prove themselves?
Well, I have one question to anyone on the show. Do you know how old is Praveen Bangera?
He is late 40.
How about 44?
Yeah, somewhere 44, 45.
Because Taif hit a ball into the covers. The attempt from Praveen Bangera in this particular game, had he taken the catch, would have been nominated as probably the catch of the tournament.
Oh, he's
That
super.
guy, he is still diving like a 25-year-old.
There are
How
couple
old?
of-
So you asked a question, you didn't provide the answer though. How old is he?
I didn't know. That's why I asked the question. I didn't know the answer.
Come on, man. I just threw out a number. Now, I don't even know if the number is right or wrong.
Well, we'll have someone text us on the someone text us in the community group.
Okay. All right.
Well, and also another question to.
Just wanted to say on the profile pic, we have pic mandatory. Maybe we make age also mandatory, so we know what people's ages are.
Yeah, maybe for the other tournament, we can't make it mandatory for DCL, but at least there is a 40+ tournament, Chetan bhai, for which we can probably ask the age. But yeah,
But it's to your point, right? That takes a lot of effort to be fit at whatever age, right? And perform, right? It's.
I'm sure guys will not be shy of submitting their age, even though they were shy of their posting their pictures. But age will be okay.
yeah, one step at a time. We're trying to change a lot of things. But yes, another question to Vijay bhai. I think last year you mentioned that you probably had the strongest Glads unit in 2021, right?
I think it was 2019 we had the strongest Glads unit. Maybe even 21. 2019, I think. 2018 was a great unit, but 2019 was a fabulous unit. That went through undefeated until we lost that game to Strikers, right? It was almost.
No, it was 21, right?
No, I think.
Wasn't it 2021 when you lost to Strikers in the pre-quarters?
We lost to
2021.
That was 2021.
21.
Wasn't 2019 also was like a.
I think 2019 with
2019 was the
No, 2019 we were undefeated until we lost to Brownstown. Mansab,
Yeah,
it was the
tsunami.
it was the Mansab tsunami that hit us.
Right.
Got it. So this year,
go ahead.
This year you have a unit. We know Arjun is injured, but had he been fit, do you think this is a better team or is the strongest team than 2019?
Probably is what I want to say. The reason is I think this team knows how to win even tough games. So we have become a little more mentally tougher. So maybe it is the Djokovic mentality or the Mamba mentality. Somebody just now texted me, Mamba mentality, Viju, Mamba mentality and Djokovic mentality. So, I think we are mentally tougher. Because the same game against Indus, we might have probably crumbled, but you could see that it was a methodical chase. You get my point? It was like, okay, we'll see what they give us, and we'll take what they give us. We were not aiming for 100. We were not aiming to this thing. I think that's where Indus lost their thing, because when 36 for 1, I think they started aiming for 100. But remember at the beginning of the show, you guys said that Glads were not even in the top 10 in the bowling units. And according to me, I'll tell you right now, we maybe not be the number 1 unit. I think the number 1 unit is Stars. And I think KRCC is number 2. But I will boldly claim that Glads is number 3. And on a good day, we could even be number 2 in terms of bowling. So for somebody to think that they will get to 100, I know that Pokiris scored 143, but remember, they scored 143 with 10 fielders. If you think they're going to go score 143 in this game in the finals, not going to happen. I'm just telling the truth. Just because I tell the truth doesn't mean I'm the bad guy. I'm just telling the obvious truth as I see it, right? I mean, you might, if you want to make me the bad guy, go ahead and make it. I care two hoots, but that's exactly how I see it. I don't see them scoring 143 in the DCL final.
Well, that's true. But moving on to this game, Pokiris are the team that has scored 100 plus in playoffs, not once, but now twice. So
another streak, is it? All right. Let me write that down.
So that is definitely one of the achievements. I mean, it's tough to get a score of 100 plus in playoffs. So Pokiris has done it twice in 2 games. In this game, I think the batting order, the top order has been working well. It's the same old folks, Vignesh, Neil, Saran. I think these 3 are the backbone of Pokiris batting. And then switching over to the bowling, I think again is these 3 guys. I mean, these 3 guys do batting, bowling, fielding, everything pretty much. Yes, they are supported well by the others as well. But if you look at it, these guys are pretty much everywhere between bowling and batting. So Pokiris heavily depend on this, and especially their opening pair. I think Vignesh and Neil open. They've been continuing with that combination all throughout this season, and they have been giving them really good starts. I think this time also it was a very good start by Vignesh and Neil, and then joining Prasanna. I think somehow they lost the way in between. They could have scored even more towards the end. I think they lost some wickets in a hurry, but I think 100 was a score I'm sure Ranjit would be happy going into the semi-finals. Fighters, I think they've had a dream run. I mean, to reach semi-finals in their first year is an outstanding job. Yes, they have had a lot of experience, and had Mahesh been there, things might have been, you never know. It would have been a different story. His 5 overs with the ball, his batting might have helped the fighters to, reach or maybe come close to the Pokiris total. But nevertheless, what's isn't there isn't there. We can't really talk about ifs and buts. But in this case, I think they missed size batting. I think this is where size batting was needed. He didn't deliver, and then they were always kind of catching up. So fighters, really well tried. Congratulations to them, but falling short of Pokiris. Gabaji, your turn.
Yeah. So, Parthibai, first of all, they did not live stream this game. So, unfortunately, we can only follow with the score, right? So, we don't know the moment here. If you see, if whatever I remember, right, Glad's game and this particular game, both the semi-final was going parallel.
They did, but they save it in different device. I think they did not put it in YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
They reserved it for themselves, not for the audience. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so what I was saying, this particular match and then the other semi-final, Glad versus Indus, was almost similar pattern, right? Where both had a really good start, Indus and the Pokiris. Here also Vignesh and other guy, he started really good, and they were like 40 plus odd run in the 12 over, right? Only difference it happened, Indus could not get a good middle order, where Saran again performed, as you already mentioned, Parthiv. 26 run, which has changed the dynamic, and where the Indus could not get more than 70 runs. This 26 run made sure that Pokiris is getting 100 run. Again, as we have already talked about 100 run, right? It's very difficult to chase down those 100 run in playoff, even semi-final. And one thing, if you guys remember, I was keep on mentioning this, but the game that we had against Fighter and then the game Detroit Bulls had. Fighters are a very quick legs, right? And I mentioned this to Bulls captain as well as in our show. Somebody should counter those quick legs with the quick fielders inside the circle. I don't know what kind of run out those people had. If you see the Sainath, who was the man for them scoring runs in the pre-quarter final and the quarter final, and Mano, again the same guy who was scoring run and playing a match winning inning for the pre-quarter final and quarter final, both got run out. Either somebody is following your show or following the fighter very closely, and they were able to counter those two guys, and those two run out made a huge difference for winning and losing, I would say. And rest, most of the things already Parthiv has been covered, so I'll just pass it on to KK if he wants to add anything.
I think you covered it well, Gavabai, because the runouts is what cost fighters the game. Sainaz was suicide, and then so are the other two, because in the top 7 wickets, if you're losing 3 to runouts, losing 1 or 2 are itself considered a crime. You're losing 3 wickets to runouts. That just deflated the fighters' batting, because in the last 2 overs they needed 20 runs. Had they had wickets, the story would have been different. That was one observation, and also, as you said, fighters run very quick between the wickets. So if you have some of those teams in the opposition with, say, probably a little older players, then they'll easily sneak the singles. But Pokiris fielding has improved a lot. They have very quick fielders, both inside the circle as well as on the boundaries, very athletic fielders. So fighters, I don't think their plan went well, or their plan was right to take on those fielders, because it costed them 3 wickets and eventually the game.
Mm-hmm.
But when we go into actually the Pokiris innings, Sharan's innings was way, way crucial. When Pokiris were bundling in between. Are you still sharing, Satya?
Yeah, he's sharing.
Okay, because it just flipped. When they were actually going good, they lost those wickets very quickly. When the second wicket fell, right, it was for 48, I guess. And after that, the third wicket fell for 56. The fourth wicket fell at the same time. But after that, fifth wicket fell at 68. But after that, Saran is the guy who scored at run a ball and actually took them to that 3-figure mark. That was the most crucial innings. Irrespective of if Saran bowled in the game or not, for me, he is the Pokiris MVP in this game. Yeah, all in all, I would say it's a great season for fighters. First year you put the team and you're in the semi-finals of the tournament. It's not a mean feat. It's a great feat, and the fighters should be proud of that.
I think they lost the first 3 games, I think, still.
And also a tie, right?
Yeah, there are 2 ties and they lost a couple of games.
Wasn't there news that Mahesh was going to come?
No, I was misinformed by somebody, and then I said it.
Or maybe that was a calculated misinformation. How about that?
But then I texted in our group, right? That
when I was speaking on the quarterfinals day, he was getting married. So then it's too close. Within a week, he can't travel. Like that. That's what I felt. So.
Well, no, we have had the crazy guys, playing DCL. So.
Not after married, right?
I'm sure he must have had the wedding plans before, and I'm sure he must have not in his wildest thoughts thought that they are going to go to the finals. Similar incident which happened to me. I just wanted to the pre-quarter finals against Gladiators. I had already booked my plans for traveling. So when it came to we winning the against Gladiators, when I informed my teammates that I had already booked my plans, they were so annoyed with me that you already knew in your mind that you're not going to win. But it is something similar to that. I'm sure Mahesh Babu must have not thought in his wildest dreams that fighters were going all the way to the semi-finals and finals. So
the marriage he's not fixing, right? It's the
I know. It's a tough kind of work.
Nothing with him, so yeah.
Nothing with him. He's the main person in the marriage, right?
He cannot say no. They fix it and they come back. Like everybody's waiting for it.
I think you can still say I want it on such and such a day or whatever it is. I would think so.
As I said, I don't think he must have anticipated fighters going all the way.
That portion I can believe, but I think the 3 runouts is what really caused the problem, because even the highest scorer in this game, I think was that Suresh Ravi, he also got run out. So if you're having so many runouts, the other problem, Parthiv, is that when you get to this stage, the teams are generally good fielding teams. So whatever you think might be there is really not there. So you might think, oh, it's an easy single. It's not really an easy single. That team out there did not reach this far because they are a bad fielding team. They're definitely a good fielding team. So these quick singles, which KK was talking about, that they are very good at quick singles, that's not going to work out. I know if Glatz was playing them, certainly it wouldn't work out.
All right. Next, go to our next segment. I think we were going to do some introduction, talking about the Glad's finalist team. We're going to introduce the players. Viju, Satya, who would be doing the honors?
It's Viju.
All right.
On mute.
Parthiv, what is left after this?
We have the finals, DCL finals. We want to talk about those activities.
All right.
And-
I'll just run through this Glatz
Yep.
team. Mainly, I think that reaching a finals is once in a blue moon opportunity. And when you reach the finals, I think it is only fitting that the players playing in the finals get the due recognition. Now, we don't have anybody from Pokiris, but I'm going to do my job, at least for my team. You get my point? Because I think it would be a disservice to my team, at least if either the skipper or I did not talk about them. Because when is the next time we are going to reach the finals? Who knows, So taking that opportunity, I'm going to talk about Aditya Aital first. He has millions of joules of energy. He's insanely competitive. If you ask me, one of our players told about Adi that it's tough to play with him because he wants everybody to be equally good as him. And then he wants to take over a game. He is an excellent guy off the field, but on the field, it's a nightmare, not only to the opposition, but also to your own players. But I'll tell you one thing, Glad's never had an opener like Adi. He gives us tremendous stability at the top. The next guy I want to talk about is Anup Bukhare. If you ask me, he's the best mate any Glad's player can have. He's loyal. He's terrific with the batting. He's a fantastic bowler. He's an absolutely fantastic fielder. He does all things well. If you ask me who should be the Glad's role model, I would say the role model should be Anup Bukhare. He's silky smooth in his batting. He's silky smooth in almost everything which he does. He's pleasing on the eyes. Parthiv, I would never trade Anup Bukhare to any team, ever. He bleeds Glad's blues through and through. What a guy to have on your team. The next guy is Arjun Ajbani. Arjun Ajbani is the face of the franchise, if you ask me. When people think Glad's, they either think my face or they think Arjun Ajbani's face. He has only played for one team ever, and that's for Glad's. And so if you ask me, this was a diamond which I unearthed in Toledo. I had no idea what I was getting in Toledo, but let me tell you, he went to 2 finals, and 2 times he was the MVP. Big game, you know what Ravi Shastri says? In the big game comes the big game player. And so he's the guy who is the big game player. And Parthiv, let me tell you some secret. He was advised surgery on that leg. And he chose not to do the surgery because he knows that if he does the surgery, he cannot play anymore. But this whole season, he had said that I'm not playing 40. My primary goal is to win the DCL. And so he had committed to winning the DCL. And long behold, the injury happens. And he doesn't take the surgery. He rehabs and rehabs and rehabs. And you have to understand the sacrifice. He'll give you everything that he has. You'll find that this guy is a gem you find. And when you find these kind of gems, you hold them on forever. I know my friend Hari Parankusam would love to get Arjun Ajbani on his team. He already told me that. And so too, Maulik Patel would love to have Arjun Ajbani on his team. But all I can tell both of them is, keep dreaming, baby. He's not coming. You're wasting your time and you're wasting your effort. You see, Arjun and I are joined at the hip. We are going together wherever we want to go. And so that's the way it is. Next guy I want to talk about is Azhar Rahman. He's one of the finest individuals you can ever find. He's an absolutely fabulous player to interact with. He's a fantastically solid bat. But if you ask me, I like him more as a person. He came to play last year on a twisted ankle, Parthiv, on a twisted ankle. He twisted it in the morning. He hardly could move, and still he came to play because we did not have enough players. He was one of the greatest additions brought to our team by Taifur Rahman. Fahimul Islam is the next person. If you ask me, unbelievable talent. There is not a ball that this boy cannot hit. When he gets going, we will win by a mile. He's a quality person. When he comes on that field, he will cheer the team left and right. And you know what, Parthiv? What was the toughest decision? The toughest decision which we had to do was to rest him last game.
Did Mama come down here?
We took that with tremendous heartache, and it was a difficult decision to take. But the problem we had to do was we are in the playoffs, and we know that the bowling is much better. And with Fahim, if there was a weakness in his game, it is this. I do not know which ball Fahim will get out. Fahim, when he gets going, there is nothing which is stopping him. But on any given ball, he might get out. And in playoffs, you want a little bit more stability. And that's just why we had to rest him. But it was one of the toughest decisions which we had to take. The next person is Ganesh Selvaraj. He's Satya's right-hand man. He always is there when we need him. He's a very smart player. In fact, if you watch some of the Glad's games where Ganesh is the keeper, he in fact gives Satya better advice than Satya can give himself. He's a good fielder. He's a good keeper. But above all, he's a good person. He's always there when we need him. He comes and plays and gets his job done. No frills, no drama, nothing. The next person is Gautam. This is the person which Vamsi said, well, I'm not sure how come he fit into Glad's. Well, guess what? We added him because we needed an umpire. All right. We knew that umpiring is going to be a tough chance. And so, we were going to pay anybody who goes for umpiring. And so we were going to pay him to do the umpiring. And so we added him as our team, to our team. But guess what? Out of 12 games, he has played 9 matches because we are always short of players. And he comes for every game. And in fact, against Stars, he hit a boundary, I think, to one of their premium bowlers to get us to 95. And from there, we never looked back. He's a fantastic person. If you ask me, he does everything for us. He umpired 5 games for us, Partha. 5 games he umpired, if I'm not mistaken, or probably more. He's a fantastic, loyal supporter. He's the guy I give the responsibility of having the hot phone. So whenever I see something wrong, guess what? I pick up the phone and call him and say, give the phone to Satya. I need to get into Satya's ear. Now, if Glad's win the cup, I already told Satya that he should be one of the first people Glad should call to pick the cup up, because that's how highly we think of him. Everybody on the team loves him. You know why? Because we see how unselfish he is and how sacrificial he is. The next guy is Hardeep Singh. I call him the Pokiris killer. That is his nickname, because time after time after time, he has killed Pokiris with his insane batting. If you ask me who has got the best hand-eye coordination in DCL, I probably would say that Hardeep Singh has got the best hand-eye coordination in DCL. He has won so many games for us. I can't even count the number of games which he has won for us. He's part of our core think tank. We run ideas past each other. I can go to any battle with him, and I know he'll have my back. He's insanely loyal. He's one of the best additions which Anu Pokhare brought to our team. He could have gone to any team. Knockers wanted him real bad, but we finally got him. But it has been one of the best additions we have had, and he's one of the best players ever to wear a Glad's jersey. And surprisingly, he doesn't perform in other leagues like how he performs for Glad's. I do not know, when he wears the Glad's or he plays for Glad's, somehow he has insane, feelings which goes through, and he just wants to perform, and everything is lights out after that. The next person I want to talk about is Imran Burke. He's very loyal to Satya. He's a good friend of Satya's. He's always there when we need him. Whenever we are short of players, call him. He'll do his best to come and play for us. We like winning with Imran Burke. He was a fantastic player for Brownstown. And right now on this team, he understands his role, that, you know what, I need to be there when the team needs me. And that is the description of a fantastic teammate. The next person is Jawad. Believe it or not, Parthiv, I found him in MSU. He came as a freshman from Pakistan to MSU. The very first year, he played against Lansing Cricket Club, MSU undergrads versus Lansing Cricket Club. And I was batting, and I was facing Jawad. And I scored a lot of runs that day, and Lansing Cricket Club won the game. But after the game, I realized this guy has good potential. So I told him, hey, you know what? There's something called DCL, and I want you to play for Lansing Cricket Club. And I found him before Sterling Strikers ever found him, or TCA Stallions ever found him, or even Bridges ever found him. I got him on the team knowing his potential. And guess what? Against Indus, he delivered the potential that I always knew was within him. So, fantastically great bowler who can bat according to the circumstances, is how I would describe him. The next person is Jeet. I call him Superman, Parthiv. I call him Superman. He leads all our bowlers. He has taken the burden of the Glatz bowling on his shoulders. And he has been absolutely great. He destroyed Mixapan and Gang with his bat, so he's capable of batting. Guess what, Parthiv? He and his wife religiously watch this show. That's what I've been told. They watch every minute of it. Not just him. He and his wife together watch every minute of the show, is what I was told. But he's a fabulous, fabulous bowler, and I am glad that we have him, because guess what? Go and see that Indus game. Bangera is a fabulous batsman. To beat Bangera, and there was one ball which beat Bangera for sheer pace. It's a mystery how that ball did not castle into the stumps. But
I've seen
what you saw that ball, right? In Bangera then starts practicing that shot, how he is going to get the next Jeet ball out. It was that good. Only thing which didn't happen is the ball didn't castle into the stumps, but he's super valuable to Glatz. And if you ask me how valuable he is to Glatz, guess what, Parthiv? He was not available for the quarterfinal game against Red Devils. But we took Red Devils very seriously. In fact, I felt Red Devils posed a great threat to us. So you'll ask me, how big a threat? Guess what, Parthiv? We paid to have Jeet Nirban fly from Las Vegas just for that game. We paid for
Oh, wow.
because we knew we needed Jeet in that critical game. And I have no problem in saying that we paid for it because he was that valuable for us. So that is how valuable he is. So I just want you to know that when we do something, we don't do it half-hearted. We go all the way. Well, the next guy I want to talk about after Jeet, I believe, is Mansab. Am I right? Yes, Mansab.
Yes.
Well, he was the highest profile addition to this year. And guess what, Parthiv? I already told you he watches every minute of the show. Not this year. He was watching it last year and the year before that. You know, he's super competitive. And I already told you how super competitive he was, because all I had to say was that Shan was the fastest bowler. And here this guy is getting all disturbed and all worked up. But I'm glad to have a person like that. I like an insanely competitive person like Sandeep Gopu, who comes and challenges. Gopu did not just challenge me. Remember last week, he said that he went out and found Hari Parankusam and he said, when you guys play us, I will show you what Indus is, right?
Yeah.
That's how insanely competitive Gopu is. But you know what? I love playing against those kind of people, because you know what? It brings the best out of you. And you want to lay it all on the line. And, you know, it's not just ducking a question and things like that. Gopu didn't duck any question, right? So I have to appreciate that. But this guy is a former MVP. And when he won the MVP award, he won it by a mile. But if you ask me what he brings to us, he's an X factor at the bottom of our batting order. Somewhere close to the bottom, not necessarily at the very bottom, but somewhere where we feel he needs to go and become an X factor. Every other team knows that he's still there waiting. And who knows, all of a sudden 3-4 sixes can just go disappearing out of the park. But having said that, you know, I feel that he's having a dream season. He already won the Mishka T20 championship. All right. So if he can win the Glatz for Glatz, this title, which he has been chasing for a long time, he would have absolutely had one of the most amazing dream seasons ever. I keep telling him, I want the Novak Djokovic in you to come out for the finals. And so hopefully he'll bring that out and he'll bowl lights out. And we'll have a contest to see who bowls the fastest, I guess. But I don't know who's Malcolm Marshall. I don't know who's Andy Roberts. And I can't tell you who's Michael Holding. I guess I'll have a better answer after the Pokiris game. The next person I want to talk to you about is Naeem Afridi. He's one of my most loyal people. You want to know how loyal he was? He came to India for a visit, and he went. He was not coming to Chennai. All right, he was just going to be in Hyderabad. Out of his busy schedule, 11 a.m. he lands up in Chennai. He meets up with me and Hariharan. We go out and have lunch. 3 o'clock, he takes the next flight back to Hyderabad. That is how loyal I have him. And this guy, I pick up the phone and say, Naeem, I need you for this game. Guess what? He'll drop everything and come for the game. So when some other team thinks, oh, Glads are winning everything or whatever it is, guys, it starts first with sacrifice, and you need to have loyal teammates. You need guys who have your back. You need to have guys who are prepared to sacrifice anything and everything to achieve the common team goal. And he's, you know what, Parthiv, I do not know him from Adam. I got him because he saw the Glads website and he approached us.
Wow.
And we did not even know how good a player he was or any of those things. But if you ask me, who is the best fielder I have ever seen in DCL? All time. All right. I can say that the best bowler I've ever seen in DCL is either, your Binod Singh. Most probably I'll go with Binod Singh. All right. But at Ronnie at his best was really good, I felt. But I would still give the edge to Binod Singh. But it's for me, it is between Binod Singh and Ronnie, and that is Ronnie in his prime, not the Ronnie of present day. All right. So don't mix up the two things. And I'm not talking about the Binod Singh of the present day. I'm talking about Binod Singh in his prime. But the best fielder I have ever seen ever in DCL is Naeem Afridi. And just the other day, Kishan sent me a video of this guy taking a diving catch. Unbelievable catch. It's I probably should forward that to you, but it was a fabulous catch. But
I think it was an entry in the catch of
but no, this is in the Lansing tournament.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, this is a full-blown catch. I mean, it is an international level catch. So this guy is really, really good, and he's an even more fabulous person. The next person I want to talk about is Redwan. All right. Trust me, he did not click in DCL with the T-ball, but I've seen him in leather ball. He's got some amazing scores next to him. So if you ask me, the talent is there. He just has to convert the talent into production. He's a class act. He's a character person. When he says he's going to do something, he actually does it. He's great keeping. So we're blessed to have him. Just that his T-ball skills are not at the level where we want to have it right now. Ruchit. Well, you already know Ruchit. He's an insane talent. And you know what, Parthiv? How many times do you think Arjun Ajpani will say, you know what, you should take him instead of me or anybody else?
He's the guy that your Lions are gunning after as well, if I remember.
Yes. And so Arjun Ajpani is the one who got us Ruchit Patel. I do not know Ruchit Patel from Adam. Ajbani got us Ruchit Patel, and he said, Viju, you will never regret getting this guy. He's insanely good. This guy, he can change a game. And if you ask me, he's one of the few guys for whom Arjun Ajbani will give up his spot and say, take Ruchit Patel over me. I have heard him say that. And so how highly do we think of him? Guess what? We were ready to play against Pokiris with 10 players just to get Ruchit players qualified, because we had Ruchit Patel for 4-5 overs and then we let him go. You get my point? And we played the rest of the game with 10 players. And that is why we gave up 143 runs in that game. But we think very highly of him. But his priority is cricket ball. I understand that. But nevertheless, we wanted to just qualify him just for the sake of qualifying. Whether we use him or not, that's a different question. But the thing is that the talent is insane. The next person is Salman. He's a class act. He's a wonderful person. We are yet to extract the maximum out of him. and we need to get more than 3 games from him for us to get the maximum. So when somebody is giving you only 3 games, it's very difficult even for the team management to just extract something out of it. But he's got good bowling ability, who can be a very good T-ball player. But the question is, again, can you give us more than 3 games? Satya, well, guess what? No Satya, there is no Glads. When I left, we needed a leader who may not be the same as me in terms of aggression, in terms of leadership, but we needed a mellow guy, a guy who can get along with everybody. And that's why I appointed Satya this thing, and I gave him a challenge that he will learn a lot of leadership skills if he can lead this team. His ability to handle me, Parthiv, it's tough to handle me. I know that, all right? Nobody needs to tell me. And guess what? When Satya says something, I give him da-da-da-da-da, boom, 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 all kinds of responses. And he handles it very easily and very calmly. He understands, hey, I want him to win more than anybody else in the world, probably even more than his own wife wants him to win. I want him to win. So he knows that. He's a silent assassin, Parthiv. He's a silent assassin. Don't let that smile fool you. He's a silent assassin. And this year, if you ask me, his bowling has been lights out, and that is why he is leading Glads among all the wicket takers. The next person is Shan, and then we're getting close to the end. I always say, Shan bats 5 to 7 overs. Glads are winning the game 80% of the time. The ball which he bowled to Swarna Rahul in the quarterfinal, my goodness, it was such a fabulous ball. I don't even know how you can defend that ball. I mean, that ball had wicket.
I went to see that ball after you guys talked about it in the show. Yes, it was absolute ripper. I mean, it
was a ripper. No, it was even Arjun Ajmani will get out to that ball, is what I feel. It was that good a ball. But, his pace has increased this year, Parthiv. I do not know what this guy is eating. But whatever he's eating, I need to find that out because his pace has gone up. He's fully bought into the Glads team. He is every much as invested as any of these other guys we are talking about. He's an X factor. In fact, if you ask me, the biggest X factor on Glads is Shan. If he gets going, there is no stopping him. There is no ball which he doesn't like to hit. All right. But he can take the game from the opposition in a heartbeat. And even Ranjit knows that. Why do I say that even Ranjit knows that? Go and watch the Glads Pokiris game and you will find that Ranjit is admonishing his fielders. When Anup and Shan are running, man, target the place where Shan is running. Don't target it to Anup. We need to get rid of Shan first. And, that is high praise. You get my point when it comes from the opposing skipper. And when the other guy is Anup Pokhare, he's not a slouch. He's not Viju Zachariah running. It was Anup Pokhare running. And he says, don't target Anup, target Shan, Well, Suyog is the next guy. Well, if you ask me, the game against Pokiris is the best I have seen Suyog ever play. He's a fantastic fielder. He's an extraordinary keeper. But if you ask me who is the most street smart guy on Glads, I would say either Anup or Suyog. One of them is the most street smart guy. You cannot fool either of them. Those two guys are incredibly street smart. He's one of the cleverest cricketers I have seen in my life. And this year, he has earned his spot. In the past, I felt that, we were kind of pushing him in. No, this year he has earned his spot. He's an automatic shoe-in into the Glads best 11. Swarup Patel, he's a pocket dynamo. If you ask me who is the biggest Glads supporter there is, it is Swarup Patel. Whenever we are shot, whenever Satya is shot, Swarup leaves, I don't know, his business, he leaves his family, he leaves everything, and he comes just to play. He stole, if you ask me, I stole Swarup from Tigers. Long back, there was a team called Tigers. I stole him from them. And if you ask me, it was not a talent heist, it was a character heist. This guy is one of the best characters you can ever meet. And I do not know if you know this, Parthiv. His father knows Narendra Modi like best buddies. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. His father knows Narendra Modi so well that I have a video of him, his father meeting Narendra Modi, and his Narendra Modi talking to his father and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" They both apparently work together at some point. And that association. And in fact, Narendra Modi, invites him to come to Delhi and stay with him. Take that. See if you can beat that. See if you can beat
I don't
that.
think I can
Now,
beat that.
okay, now so you know what? This is a show about bringing the color out, right? So I brought the color out right there.
Nice.
All right, what do I have to say about Taif? I don't know. Taif is a warrior. Taif is a warrior. I mean, I'm telling you, he's an assassin. He's getting older, all right, and the age is catching up to him, probably in the bowling department. But man, what a display against Indus. I called him after the Indus game. I knew he can hit. I knew he can hit Jalaj left, right, and center. And I purposefully brought him down so that he can take his effect on Jalaj. And sure enough, he did do that. He is a fantastic, bespectacled assassin, is what I call him. And if you ask me, Partha, what is sacrifice? He gave me the best years of his life. All right. The best years of his life, he has given it to me. And I will never, ever forget that.
Wow.
Udit, if you ask me, Udit is the best left-hander in DCL. That's according to me. Right?
Second that.
Oh, you second that. So I'm not,
Yes.
I'm not making this up. When Udit gets going, he has got a computer in his brain. He knows exactly what the run rate is, and he knows exactly what shot to play. And tomorrow, guess what, Parthiv? He might be that assassin who assassinates, or on Saturday, who assassinates Pokiris. I do not know. Whenever he plays Pokiris, he plays outstanding. He's wicket smart. Again, I told you about the catch against Banguera. He's a fantastic fielder too. But you know what, Parthiv? I've covered the entire Glads team. You might ask me, do you miss anybody? Guess what, Parthiv? Before this show happened, I knew I was going to present this. So I called an old friend of mine. And remember in this, in our WhatsApp group, I told you that the only person I will not allow as an umpire is Jagan Konda, right? I made that. I mean, I said this privately. I'm going to say it publicly, because I do feel, it's not just me, it's the Glads skipper who feels that way. It is the Glads players also who feels that way. In fact, before the game, when GLCC was supposed to send an umpire, all of our players contacted me and said, no Jagan. Anybody else? Okay. So if many players are feeling that way, there must be a good reason for it. And we feel there is an inherent bias when Jagan comes to umpire. But leave Jagan aside. You ask me, the real question is, well, Glads allow Maulik Patel to umpire a game. I'll give you the answer. I don't have any problem with Maulik Patel umpiring a game. In fact, I think in one of the games, Glads selected Maulik as one of the umpires to be put into the randomization or whatever it is. You get my point? Obviously, we don't have any concerns there. There is a difference of opinion that was only among the skipper who was going to lead Glads after I left. Other than that, there is, believe it or not, Parthiv, I and Maulik ate from the same plate. And I still haven't forgotten that. And today, before the show, I called Maulik Patel. I called Maulik Patel because I missed him. And I still love the guy. All right. He might be the skipper of Gujarat Lions. Wow. But I miss Ronnie. I miss Ronak Q. Patel. I miss Maulik Patel. They were always my friends. And no matter what it is, I am in a DCL final. I am very happy for my mates. But I miss them. All right?
Well,
I miss them.
We understand. Yep, we understand your emotions. I'm sure they have the best intentions. They've been part of the Glads unit for such a long time. So, they are part of the foundation pillars. But, thank you, Viju. Thank you for sharing. I know it's an emotional moment for you.
I just miss them. That's all. I just miss them.
Yep, I'm sure they must be hearing this, and I'm sure they must have a word to say to you as well. But yeah, thank you for walking us through the Glads unit. All of them are fantastic stars amongst a galaxy of stars. So you guys have, everyone is a strong performer. Pokiris, we have Pokiris who have been in the finals for 3 times now, haven't won the cup. So it's going to be, the underdogs versus the champions, or to say, in these finals. But to talk about the finals, I wanted to spend a few minutes to talk about this event. So the DCL committee has this year organized this event in a slightly different manner. Traditionally, we used to have the finals, which was an affair where we used to have a limited capacity crowd, but there was not much planning or fanfare around the rest of the activities happening around. But this year, we've done quite a bit of a spectacle to have the finals along with the DCL award ceremony. Along with it, we'll have presentation at the end of the finals, but we're also going to have a lot of events running during the finals, both for adults and for kids. We have a live DJ which is going to playing really good music all along the finals. We have kids entertainment. We have in the form of face painting and balloon making. So all the kids are going to have a great time to while watching the game. They can also be part of these activities as well. And we're going to have delicious food served as well during lunchtime. So a lot of people are going to be will be sitting watching the game, eating, and really enjoying the nice weather that is going to be there. So one thing that is surely going to be as we had talked about in the WhatsApp group, which we talked about, is that this finals is going to be viewed by a lot of people. We are looking at 450 people coming to this event. As of today, as of now, this minute, the evites has just reached 450. So
Let's
yeah,
not forget the fact that there are multiple folks who won't even RSVP, directly
yeah,
show up at the. Last year
yeah,
we had what influx of 30% more who
yeah.
didn't RSVP. So
Yeah. So, we are, counting that. We are counting always, a plus 50, a plus 75, counting, people who just walk in without bothering to invite. But, this is the largest crowd that we'll probably see in a DCL game. And if the game holds true, we are able to conduct things as per schedule. It's going to be a really good and a big spectacle. We are going to have live streaming for people who cannot make it to the game, and we're going to have live commentary as well during the game as well. And what is the most cool part of this game is that we're going to have multiple cameras covering the game. So you're going to have a ball tracking camera. We're going to have the pitch from the wide angle and the long angle as well. So you're going to have replays. We're going to have ball tracking. So a lot of new cool things that are going to you could see while watching the game as well. So a lot of money, a lot of effort and time has been spent in making this the big event. And if this goes well, we will be doing this more regularly and more doing it for more events as well. But I really wanted to highlight this event. I'm hoping that people who are listening to the show are planning to come and planning to support. We are still looking for volunteers. We are a 7 people team of committee. We have a couple of people who are going to help us volunteer, but we are looking for more people. So if you have time on Saturday morning, if you can, even if can come for a couple of hours and help us out, please do reach out to one of us. We would love to have as many people, as much help we can get to organize this event successfully. Also, I wanted to call upon the Hall of Famers and the Lifetime Achievement Awards, and I would love to hear from you, Viju. I know we both probably have spent large amount of time with Mujahid Bhai, so I would love to hear a few things from you as well. But this time, Hall of Famers is the batch from Megabytes and I would say Falcons, which were rampant at that time. We have Vinod Singh. We have Ashraf Rajguru from the GLCC clan. We have I forget the names. Some help, guys. Let me see. Where's my list?
well, Pardev, Nitya Suvarna,
Yeah,
Ashraf Rajguru,
yep. We are
Vijay Matta,
yes, Vijay Matta and
Vinod Singh,
yep. We called out Vinod
and,
Singh
and Rehan Malik.
and Rehan Malik. Yep.
They are the Hall of Famers.
Yeah, these are the Hall of Famers, and as you can see, there are two GLCC guys. There is Brownstown. There is Megabytes, all mixed with it. All those guys who started in that 2005 2006 time frame. So all of these top-notch performers are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this is the effort made by the committee to kind of recognize these players every year. So we have quite a bit of catching up to do, because we haven't done that over a long period of time. So that's why we are going a lot by memory. In those years, we don't have records for them, but hopefully we can by memory catch a lot of these top performers. And the lifetime achievement award is given to that unique player who has for several years or maybe a couple of decades been part of DCL, served DCL. We were looking for nominations. We were looking for people who have been around with DCL for so long, and the name of Mujahid Ali, or Afsar Mujahid Ali, I would say the whole name, popped up because we unanimously, I think Jagan, I, and several others recognized that name. We wanted to make sure we don't forget people who are not active anymore, because it's very easy to give it to someone who we know is active, but let's not forget some people who have maybe not been part of DCL anymore because of age. And Brownstown is definitely one of the teams that has aged through DCL. So the name Mujahid definitely resonates with Brownstown. And I'll tell you, Jagan told me this. Jagan called him up when we decided to give him the award, and he was crying on the phone. Jagan told me that he was literally in tears, uh, because he did, first of all, getting a call from DCL after he's been inactive for maybe 2 or 3 years now. So it was quite a bit of a surprise call, and the fact that we've not forgotten him. I think that those emotions just took over, and I'm very very happy. I played with him many years, many duels with him, along with Rehan Bukhari, and all those guys in Brownstown colors, and he was a competitor. And I still remember his one peculiar thing, which I always tell a lot of my teammates as well. Every time he bowled, he had that every time he bowled, he thought he got a wicket. He would say Gaya. Every time he would bowl a ball, and he would say Gaya straight away. And that basically irritated the hell out of me, because every time, every time he would bowl, and that slur would come out. And first I was ticked by it, but after that I recognized that it was just natural for him, the way he had played cricket. Maybe he had played in the streets of Pakistan, just like how we've come up, playing in the streets of Mumbai as well. We have some peculiar things where no one else understands why he does something. But I remember him through that, and he never ever gave up. His 5 overs were once upon a time, just like Binod saying, you had to make sure you survive, and that's how highly competitive he was. Yes, in the Brownstown ranks, he never really came up to be one of the big stars, because not many people talk about him as a big star, but I'm sure he is one of the standout performers for Brownstown every day, and he's played close to on 15, more than 15 years every Brownstown uh, game. He was part of the Ford unit. I remember playing the Diversity Cups with him as well, and a very thorough gentleman. Every time you find him, he give you a free hug, and he would talk to you very nicely. So I have very fond memories, and I'm hoping that this award does justice to his service for DCL and what he has achieved in DCL. So, would you, if you like to add anything from your encounter?
Yeah, Parthiv, I left no stone unturned to get Mujahid every recognition which the primetime show can give. Let the record state that I did call Rashid Malik, and you guys know this. I forwarded the text which Rashid sent me to. Rashid was supposed to join the show. He did say that 100% I am not sure, but depending upon the circumstances, I will try to join the show. I wanted Rashid to talk about Mujahid. All right,
I
because
think he
after all,
joined and left immediately. Like he
oh, is
just
it?
joined. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Well, anyway, the thing was that I wanted Rashid to join so that he can talk about Mujahid, because after all, who knows Mujahid better than Mujahid's own skipper? You get my point?
right.
And Mujahid played under Rehan, Mujahid played under Rashid. and Mujahid played under Yasir Bhai.
Yasir.
All right. Yeah, Yasir Farhan. So those are the three skippers of Brownstown under which he has played. But I have always observed one thing: this guy aged like fine wine. Every year he seemed to get better. His pace, I kept thinking, okay, this year his pace will go down. This year his pace will go down. But I do not know. It never really went down. His accuracy was almost pretty much the same. And he was one of those great cricketers who could come. And I think one of the lasting memories that I remember is Falcons was the favored team, and Brownstown played against Falcons. And Vijay Matta was a superstar at that time, all right? Vijay Matta came and bowled to him, and Mujahid hit him for 2 sixes. And just like that, the game changed from Falcons to Brownstown. And the next thing you know, the last wicket of Brownstown was in play, and Mujahid had just won the game for Brownstown. And all of a sudden, Matta's teammates all turned on him, and they were like, "Man, what? How can you give him 2 sixes and things like that?" But I remember when the sixes went, I was the umpire, and I was looking at the way the ball was going, and you know what? Pakistan had a famous singer called Nazia Hassan. I do not know if you've heard of her. I think she or one of those Pakistani singers said, "Hawa, Hawa." Do you remember that song? Yeah. Kushubu Mita De or something like that.
Right,
and,
right.
and it was the ball was flying away, and it just disappeared. And the next thing you know, that ball was gone without a trace. And that's what I remember of Mujahid. He could bat, but he was mainly a bowler, but underappreciated as a batsman. But also his character, Parthiv. I think that's the important thing, right? I mean, he always came and gave it his full effort. And I think in DCL, what we want is full effort more than anything else, right? The kind of effort which makes us proud, because I respect a competitor like Gopu, or a competitor who comes and gives his best effort out there. Winning and losing is part of the game. But you know what? Of course, we all want to win. All right. Don't get me wrong on that. But I have seen players, Parthiv, who have made the playoffs. And I believe his name was Amjad Khan. And because of the old Amjad Khan of Sholay, I never forgot that guy's name. He was a pretty good cricketer, and he was he got some awards, batsman award, bowler award, and things like that. But because the weather was cold, he refused to come and play a playoff game.
Wow.
And for me, that was unthinkable. Unthinkable. I mean, you can put me in 32-degree Fahrenheit weather, I will come and play the game, even at this age. Because you know what? That's the effort I have to give. That's the effort I have to give. I remember Satya played against Bridges. It was so cold that the moment he came out from this thing, all his cheeks were red, absolutely red. And yet he took some 3 or 4 great catches, unbelievable catches. But what I talk about Mujahid is that kind of a person. He'll give everything on the field. No effort spared. And so let's just give him credit. I think it's a worthy candidate for Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm happy that Mujahid Bhai is getting it. May he be blessed, and I hope he has a fabulous time on Saturday.
Yep.
I know. Even if all the other teams may not have a fabulous time, he'll have a fabulous time.
Yep. So it'll be a good thing to see some of these guys, bring in their families. I think that would be a very great moment for them to receive these awards in front of their families, for the amount of years and the amount of time and effort they've given to DCL as well. So one thing I wanted to make sure, this is the last show for DCL Primetime. So win or lose, we probably will not be doing the show next week. So, we will be coming back next year, but hopefully, you guys keep following us, keep following our videos. We will be, having these videos online. So, you can always watch them again if you feel like. But yes, this season has been great. The committee has done a fabulous job. Just wanted to outline a few things for my fellow committee members here. this year's committee. I've been part of the committee for close to around 5 years now. This is my 6th year, but definitely I think what we've achieved this year as a unit has been outstanding. We've been able to break through a lot of barriers. We've been able to get through a lot of things which we've always talked about but never really got a chance to do it. The enthusiasm brought by the new committee members and new ideas, I think, that flowed have greatly improved the way we've conducted the tournaments, even after so many interruptions and so many things that may go here or the other, depending on one way or the other. The decisions are made. We have had unprecedented rain, but we have been able to schedule and play all games. None of the games have been split points, so that's a credibility for the committee as well, to make sure all the 290 or 295 games happened. We've got this year, we started this league 2 weeks earlier. That was one of the things that we've received feedback from our captains, that they wanted to avoid the conflicts as much as possible late in Mishka's calendar, and we've been able to conduct pull the tournament 2 weeks before. I think you've seen on social media a lot of participation through Facebook and Insta, and a lot of fan following coming through as well. So more and more people are getting involved with the community, with DCL as a cricket tournament. We've introduced 2 new tournaments. DCL T90 was a huge hit. It attracted a lot of players, a lot of crowd, especially in the finals. We had around 150 odd people watching the game live. We have the Masters tournament, which is also generating a lot of enthusiasm. Has brought a lot of people who have are towards the end of their careers, or who have hung up their boots, brought them back on the field. A lot of people are meeting each other after so many years. That itself is a great treat to watch. And I'm sure down the road we are also planning to have winter tournament, indoor. That's in under works as well. So a lot of new tourneys been planned, and that's again kudos to the committee for making this happen. One thing I would say, we've done and pushed, and we'll keep pushing next year as well, is more and more live streaming of games. Unfortunately, we still have a lot of captains who are probably lazy or don't want to do it, but it's still just our goal to make live streaming as much as possible, so that we get a lot of people viewing the game, a lot of people enjoying the game, and we'll continue to do that. And lastly, I would conclude that this year we've got a lot of sponsors. We've got a sponsor for the entire season. We've got sponsorship and for awards as well. You'll see a couple of awards in on the finals for the MVP of the finals as well as MVP of the season. Those are some cash awards which are being provided by our sponsors as well. So that is something new which hasn't been done in DCL as well. So a lot of new things have been introduced for the betterment of this league, which I'm very proud of being part of this committee. So with that said, thank you again. Thank you everyone on this panel, analyst, Satya, Vijubai. Obviously, it's a treat. I'll probably miss you for the rest of the next 6 months, but I'm hoping that we'll keep we'll keep chatting on WhatsApp, and we'll keep talking about cricket and other things. But yes, hoping the best team wins. Truly speaking, even though I've picked Pokiris, I know in my heart I want Glads to win. But that Pokiris was a mathematical calculation to win the $250. So we hopefully have a cracker, and we'll see some smiling faces from all of the panelists here. So best of luck, guys. Best of luck, Satya. Best of luck, Biju.
You might want to ask if KK or Gaba or any of us has any last comments before the show.
Conclude, yes.
Well, it's not the last comments, but I want to say something about this finals. So the last time Pokiris were in a DCL final was in 2017, and only 2 of the current lot played in that particular finals.
Whoa!
And guess what? The current Pokiris skipper didn't feature in that final.
Wow!
So Ravi Narala definitely played. Ravi Narela definitely played.
The current Ravi and Vignesh are the only two who played.
Okay.
Rajat didn't play in that game, but they have come a long way. So I don't think the demons are still there in their heads from that final, because 10 of the players are new who are playing this final. On the other hand, if I'm looking at the Glads lineup, right? In the Glads lineup, I think 6 of their players played in the previous final they played in 2018. And one of their current player played in the opposition, that's Suya Gupta. So 7 of their players featured in that 2018 game.
Oh, he was in knockers, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So a lot on the plate for both the teams this year. We are going to have live streaming.
I'm surprised with that Pokiris stat which you brought up. Only 2 players are there from that 2017 unit. Wow, that is surprising. I would have thought more than 2, at least 5 or 6 or something.
No, I have the names. As in, there are 2 other players.
I'm sure you're right, but I'm just surprised.
Yep. Because Avinash Raghu, who is the top scorer in that game, now doesn't even feature in the playing 12. Prabhu Sinnasamy is not in the plans for the top 12. Srikanth Narna is gone. Aditya Aital is on Glads now, because now Glads have 7 players. Aditya played on the Pokiris unit in 2017.
Oh, wow.
Vinod Periyasamy is on MCC Miles. Raviteja Reddy Stars. Sean Manikyam, Shanmugam Manikyam is on Stars. Prasanna Venkatesh is out of DCL. So he's not playing here.
Yeah, they lost Raviteja, right?
Raviteja just stop there. So one question for KK and Parthiv, not for Glad guys. Do you think Pokiris made a mistake not qualifying when Prasanna? I know he was more committed to F40, but if they would have qualified Prasanna, he would have been available for final.
Maybe not.
He did play. Just for your information, he did play this season, only one game.
I think they've tried that formula many times, and most times it has not worked in the finals. Prasanna, they think that Prasanna suddenly is going to come and change the complexion of the game. I think the last 3 finals they've tried this. They've always tried to qualify this, but I think this year what they've done, which I see is like they've played with a core unit. They played with those 17, 18 guys, and that's it. They haven't added or tried to qualify a lot of people. So I think they may be changing their strategy from calling on him or calling on a few people who have qualified, rather just stick to tried and tested people.
Again, I think they are trying to reduce the dependency, as you said, Parth. Wherein the team entirely distributes that burden and says, "Hey, we have to carry the team, not depend on someone else, not wait for God to do the work, but let's actually work towards our goal." That's actually a very welcome move for Pokiris. Maybe the change in management also could be one of the reasons.
So again, question for the obviously for the 3 panelists who are not involved in the game. If you win the toss, do you think batting first the team wins?
Great question. I'll get to the stats now. I like stats, right? NPP 2 and NPP 3 are the 2 grounds that were available. The randomization came towards NPP 3. The NPP 3 stats say that 60% of the time the team chasing wins.
Yeah, but remember one thing. Glads contribute a bit towards that.
Not your question with you.
Because Glads was forced into chasing against Red Devils. Glads was forced into chasing against Indus, because we consistently have been losing the toss, right? So, I think you have to take that with a little bit of a question mark, because we are contributing to that chase victories there. All right.
Previous
I'll tell you one thing. If Glads win the toss, Glads will bat first. Take that, write it down.
There you go.
And then I'll also tell you, if Pokiris win the toss, Pokiris will bat first.
Yep.
I don't think I don't think either team is going to change their strategy.
No team wants to chase in a final, especially because think about a scenario: you have 2 overs or 3 overs to go. Batting first, you have 2 to 3 wickets. They'll just go berserk. You get 20 runs, 25 runs. But you can't do the same thing when you're batting second. The 20 runs would suddenly look like a 40. So you see, that pressure is always there, and to add it, the 450 people pressure is going to be there. The live DJ's pressure is going to be there.
Yeah.
But if you
Okay.
if you just take the opinion of the neutral spectator, I think the finals of chasing team wins is an epic final. Everybody loves that. You see, the Dhoni victory is still remembered because we chased and win. I don't know, for some reason the chasing in a final and winning it is a bigger spectacle than a team batting first and outscoring or bundling out the opposition.
And
What do you
another thing,
Partha-
Parthiv bhai, DCL is a game where scoring run is difficult, right? So
Right?
chasing will make it more difficult. So
No, I agree. It is not
no,
difficult.
no
I'm
run.
saying
If you're batting first, no run is a less run in the final.
no. I agree. I'm not saying people who are playing, people who are sitting and enjoying the game.
Oh yeah.
For them, a team that wins from behind, comes from behind and wins chasing is a more entertaining final. That's only from a spectator point of view.
That's true.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's hope that Pokiris can chase and they can take some some extra bit of motivation and say, okay, we'll go and do the chase. But I know the Pokiris management, and I think I don't think I'll be wrong on that one. So I'm pretty sure it was the same thing when Glad's played MCC Miles. I said the team batting first, winning the toss will bat first, and sure enough, we won the toss and we batted first. The next two games we lost the toss, and so we had to chase it down. It's either do or die.
And Glad has a toss captain as well. So Jawad came when I was umpiring. Jawad,
Yeah, big deal. The toss captain has done. He has lost 2 out of the 3 tosses when it really mattered, right?
Okay.
So I mean, at this point of time, Satya should say, you know what? Forget it. I don't need you to do any toss captaincy for me. I'm going to go and do the toss. I think I can do better than 33%.
Okay. I have one more question. Okay.
Mhm.
Again, sorry, keeping these Glad people out because they are not a neutral panelist. So at least pick 1 or 2 MVP that you guys think from both the side. I would go with, again, but let's first hear
So
from
the
you. And
the
then
MVP of this
MVP
game is
can
going to get a $200 gift card, right?
yes, we know. But
Yeah.
for example, KK, what do you think? 2 MVP candidates from Glad side and Pokiris side, and then maybe a one-liner. Why you think so?
Yeah, sure. I would call out Anup and Aditya as the strongest contenders. Both great all-rounders, both come at the top of the order, both bowl all the 5 overs, and they both have amazing knack of picking wickets as well as scoring runs.
I do not know which game you were watching, KK, but Anup bowled 0 overs in the semi-final. Okay, so obviously you're not watching the same game I'm watching because Anup bowled 0 overs, and I am sitting here and saying, "Oh, Anup is not bowling. Anup is not
He's
bowling."
going to
And you know
bowl.
what? No, and you know what? At the 12-over break, I told Satya, "What in the world is going on? Why are you not using Anup?" Okay, after the break, I'm using Anup. Guess what? Anup got 0 overs, just as many overs as he got in the first 12 overs. Okay, so
The
all
Yeah.
I know is that Satya brings himself to bowl. Okay, but he forgets about Anup.
Maybe now he'll remember that.
Yeah.
But I think these two are the strongest contenders from the Glad side.
Okay.
We'll come to the Pokiris
from-
maybe on the second round. Let's go with the Glads now. Let's look from Parthiv.
I think I'm going to go with Mansab, and I'm going to go with Shan. Mansab and Shan are going to be my top.
You know what, Parthiv? Mansab is going to order you special dum biryani from
Because
Akshay Patra
I
for
feel-
picking his name.
No, I feel that guy. I mean, this is going to be a competition of nerves, and I think he has nerves to actually, nothing ruffles in. And I think the crucial moment, I think he's going to play a pivotal role. So my bet is Mansab and Shan.
Yeah. So again, I think Parthiv, you are on the money. That is what one thing. Shan definitely because he has picked the form, batting and I think one of the best all-rounder at this point for the Glads. And second thing, Mansab. Only thing I'm picking Mansab not as a bowler in this game, but as a batsman.
Yep.
And if Glads is batting first, they have to use Mansab smartly. If they are 2-3 down and 15 overs done, He shouldn't be a lower middle order batsman. He should be a batsman who can
exactly why I
estimate
asked
the
this.
inning,
That
right?
how are you going to
After 16, 17 over, if wicket falls, who should come? I think Mansab should walk in. That's what my understanding.
Exactly. I think I'd
And
WhatsApp
more,
that.
why I think Mansab, because Mansab playing style or hitting boundaries, the kind of bowling attack Pokiris has, Mansab actually can kill those kind of bowling attack.
More than anything, I think he's a demoralizing factor. His just way he
Yes,
comes into the bat, and if he has his day, I mean that's it. The
yes,
match is
that's
done.
true.
So,
Yeah. So
anyways, something which I think as well that
yeah.
he like I think last time around that's why I kind of WhatsApped as well, like because I think you guys were keeping him too much at the end. I would have basically gone with the kill, go and kill it before it becomes too late.
But I think I did understand what Vijay and Satya
Yeah,
was
I
saying.
understand
When
what
you are chasing, you have different mindset. You just want to close. You just want to get that 70 runs, okay?
Mhm.
But when you're batting first, you wanted to put more and more and more total, right? 120,
Right.
no, why 120 is enough when we can score 150, right? So that is where I think Mansab role will be very important if they're batting first.
Right. Both
That's
ways, I
what
think he's
Gaba
there
by
to-
scoring 150 against Pokiris in DCL final
No,
is he like eating rasgullas, right?
no, I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
the
just
way you're
saying-
saying 120, 150, next thing I know, 180 it will be. I mean, what
I'm
what are
saying,
you guys talking about?
suppose you are still getting 120. Do you think you will be happy with if you can have an opportunity to score 150? That's what I'm saying. It's not about the final. I'm just giving an example.
if they get 120, they'll be dancing on the roof if they get 120 in the finals.
Gaba
Either
bhai,
team.
I don't want to be 36 for 1 and 70 all out by chasing 100.
Yes, right.
You get my point. I would rather take it. Okay, well, let us see what happens.
That's what I say.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? When your move for not getting Mansab while chasing was a smart move, right? But batting first will make a difference. And again, I'm picking Shan because I think Vijay already mentioned that if Shan is playing those 6-7 overs at the beginning, I already see that Glad has got a upper hand. No?
If Shan bats 7 overs, I'll give it to you in writing that Glads are going to win 80% of the time.
So I do agree on that thought because he's a run machine. He can't simply hit the ball and stand there. He's a run machine. If he'll stand there, he will score the run. Yeah, those are my two picks.
But it's not something. It's not. I mean, even they know that, right? I mean,
that is why I'm picking
Shan
is what I'm trying to explain. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
So I was just looking at it. The last 5 eliminators that were played in NPP3 were won by the team batting second.
Whoa.
One in 2021, one in 2022, and all 3 in this year were won by teams batting second.
Our
And
stats guru has got a wrench in the plans.
NPP3 is a better batting unit. Let me finish this, right? NPP3 is a better batting unit. It stays true through the end of the second innings as well. There is on the NPP2, you see that the dust starts, coming up with the ball in the second innings. I've seen that multiple times, even this year.
So if dust is coming up with the
That's NPP2.
Okay.
Not NPP3. NPP3, it stays
NPP3,
most
right?
of the
If I'm not wrong.
Okay. Go with the Pokiris pick, guys. Come on.
No. One question I wanted. Sorry.
Yeah.
We are playing in NPP3, right, KK?
3, yes.
And can you please enlighten which team wanted what ground? And then we have to go on a randomization.
Well, Glads wanted 3, Pokiris wanted 2.
So Glad got their ground, basically.
Because Glads played semis in 3, Pokiris played semis in 2.
Whatever would have been the reason, because there was a conflict of the ground. So Glad got the ground that they wanted. Okay. Let's go with the Pokiris, please.
Pokiris pick this time. I will go first.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I will go with my ever favorite Vignesh, Vicky, and I will go with Saran. I think those are very obvious picks in my mind. I don't think there is someone who will not pick these 2 guys. At least one.
You just stole my answer. I put it in the WhatsApp.
It's hard to not pick these 2 guys.
That's true. Even I go with those 2 names.
See, the other performing batsmen in their team are one Neil, but Neil doesn't get to bowl as much as Saran or Vignesh. And Arun is doing good, but at the same time, he gets 2 or 3 overs.
Right.
But last time it is, if the last 2 games, it is Arun Tinakaran who has been killing us. So now, guess what? Arun Tinakaran has been occupying I'm watching Arun Tinakaran. So I've been talking to Satya about a few things about Arun Tinakaran because he has come into my radar, you see, because the last 2 times he's the one who has been scoring all the runs against us.
Nice.
Go ahead, Gabbai. Who are your picks?
Yeah, my pick also the Saran and Vignesh.
Same thing.
No change. I think what Parthiv mentioned was right. You cannot see beyond these 2 people at this point.
Right.
But I think there is a vast difference in the bowling units among these 2 teams. Glads is like the Australian quicks, one after the other. You have quality fast bowlers, all 5 of them. And of course, we have Satya who cuts the ball. And then you look at the other end, Pokiris does not have a genuine fast bowler.
Mm-hmm.
They have medium fast in Arun Dinakaran, and there ends the story.
Yep.
The rest of them all are, slower bowlers. And with Glads, in case Raghu and Arvind bowls up the order, what do you think? It is not again a question to Satya or Vijay. What do you think, Gavabai or Parthiv? Do you think Glads will gamble sending in Udit to counter the left-arm spinners?
I think they will have to because Arvind is no ordinary bowler. He's a very good left-arm spinner. So, if he's on song, it makes sense to send Udit up to counter that.
Yes.
And who did take 2 hat-tricks this year?
Yep.
And so, if we should be mentioning it, Taif took 1 hat-trick this year.
Oh.
3 hat-tricks playing in this game.
Most likely, Taif won't be bowling in the final because he hasn't bowled right on any of the playoff game.
I'm not sure.
You can't
predict Satya. So I've been playing with him last 2 years. So you can't predict.
Enough headaches to these guys.
Another question.
I want to say something about Saran. If you have a left-handed batsman, Saran is going to give you wides.
Okay, probably last question from me. Okay? Because now it is actually interesting section. Okay, we are talking about the final. Now, as we have already talked about,
wouldn't it be great if Pokiris was here? It would have been great.
Yeah, definitely. We would have asked question to both this team as well, right?
Maybe they have a NDA agreement, non-disclosure agreement that do not go on prime time. First point, do not go on the other shows. Do not.
Before taking
but KK, let me ask you, whose loss is that? It's their own loss, right? I mean, you get an opportunity to be in the limelight. How many times do you get that opportunity? I always believe, no point in ducking the question. I mean, you asked me a very tough question at the beginning of the season, and how did I duck it? No, but we have won 14 in a row after that. So it all depends on how you want.
Mm-hmm. Through the season, right? Whoever came on the show, we did ask them very tough questions. When Amrit was on the show, we did ask him about his form.
But we also put them in the most positive light that we can think of.
Absolutely, right.
I mean, they've not been the losers for that, right? So they got visibility all across. But I don't know. I mean, that's why I said I'm going to promote my team, come what may. I mean, I do not know when is the next time I'll be in the finals. Mm-hmm. So now that I have reached the finals.
And as this is the last show, I also wanted to mention, I even tried to sledge our fellow panelist, Parthiv. I asked, did Parthiv go with a condition to Raptors that he wants to lead? But then we got the answer, but it was Venkat Adapa's idea. Parthiv, you were not on the show, so we got the answer.
Parthiv should be thankful that he has a friend like me who has his back.
This is again hearsay, right? You get a lot of hearsay and me asking you because you have better idea.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But anyway, Gababai had a question.
Yes, one last question. Okay, as we know, right, this is a different DCL final where we'll have audience. Maybe close to 300, 400, at least 400 people.
I think, what's the latest count, Parthiv?
450. But I think 450 will be at one point of time. Maybe at lunchtime there will be 450. But I don't think.
I agree. No.
Right. Our guys have only one question. Do you keep enough vegetarian items?
No, our guys are wondering whether you'll keep some food aside for the finalists because they probably
Yes,
will not
that's
be
that's
eating
our
that
plan.
much.
That we'll keep enough food for
We
the
will,
players.
we will try.
Well, then Satya, what we can do is we can put a tray aside. But if someone comes, takes away the tray, we cannot have security guards there.
You give to me, I'll keep it home.
We've got
Okay,
tea
you
for you
live
guys.
nearby, so okay.
We've got tea for you guys, so at least you can start morning tea.
Yeah,
Okay.
can I ask you guys? Do you do a courier from the ground to India? I mean, I might as well ask. I mean, he's talking about taking to his home. I'm saying, how about couriering it to India also?
So it
But,
will be either the Glad's biryani or the Pokiris paniyaram.
Yeah.
One of them.
Okay.
The game.
Okay.
Okay, my question. Okay, so which
Yeah.
team do you think that can take if any pressure from the audience? Which team would be better to play and perform?
No, Gabaji, I think that answer I have already given in that because I think the crowd is going to be on the support of the underdogs, right?
Yes.
So
100%.
yeah, so I think Pokiris have that.
Pokiris will have probably 95% of the support. Right?
Correct, because they
The
are
only
three
people who
times
are
I
probably
mean, not 95, Viju, probably 70-30 is a good call.
70. I
No.
would also agree. 95 is.
No.
Yeah, I will really say this.
Okay. Can I tell you something? If Pokiris was playing
Yeah,
in the
it's really-
finals, he froze up. Okay. Let me tell it to him. If Pokiris was playing in the finals against somebody not named Glad's, I would have been automatically supporting Pokiris. Why? Because they have been to 3 finals, and I automatically would like to support them to win the cup. I would like to see Ravi Narala lift a cup. So that's how I feel. You get my point? But I'm just saying that if same thing, I like Hari Parankosam to lift a cup. I mean, he has been in the league for a long time. Yes, he won it with Falcons, but it is Vandala who's the captain on record. Okay, but what I'm saying is that's
I agree. I think the
that's
sentiment.
that sympathy factor is always going to be there with the underdog.
Yeah. So the sentiment is going to be with Pokiris. Yes, public sentiment.
The reason I said 70-30 is, in a lot of conversations post Arjun's injury, the factor also shifted towards Glad's.
Not so much. I won't say.
What does the injury have to do with Glad's? I mean,
The sympathy
why should it?
See, when Glad's were considered the strongest unit, they want the underdogs to win. But this year it's been slightly different for Glad's. It's not your strongest unit. That's what, at least in the conversations that we have had, we've discussed that.
No, I think they're still very, very strong. On paper, I think Glad's takes Pokiris any day. But the sentiments are with Pokiris because obviously they've been 3 times almost there, but not yet there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think that's going to weigh heavily against Glad's because I think the public support is going to be with Pokiris. And Pokiris, remember, Pokiris is also a unilateral regional team. So by virtue of that, all the Tamil support directly goes there. Whereas Glad's has quite a mixed cosmopolitan kind of a situation as well. So
we are not just cosmopolitan; we are intra-country. We have
Asia.
We have Asia. We have players from all across Asia.
So
I have conflict on both the ends. Satya played for me in the Michigan Cup, and Arun Dinakaran and Satish Mani played for me in the same Michigan Cup.
Okay.
So
doesn't 2 beat 1?
No.
No, it
I want all these 3 guys to succeed and let the game run its way.
I think, Babaji, to your point, who would succeed in the pressure situation? I think probably Glad's have better absorbing power than the Pokiris because they've been there. Pokiris, on the other hand, haven't been there. So I think, not lifted the cup. So I think that makes a huge difference for them.
And good thing. But one thing, KK, do you have any insider news from the Glad's camp? Because you are wiping out Arjun completely out of the scene.
Insider.
I think you will get shocked when you will see Arjun wearing Glad's cap, walking in and batting.
Arjun won't be playing. Viju and Satya,
listen, because in this particular half an hour section, he mentioned 3 times and he did not count Arjun is playing 12. I don't want
Let
again. I
me say
don't want
something.
anything
In the
to be revealed here,
quarterfinals,
but somehow KK has some insider news, and
I don't have any insider news.
Huh?
I don't have any insider news. Okay.
Because your statement you're not counting Arjun, right? That's what I got. Okay. So, but anyway, because the Pokiris is not.
No. I think I know what he's counting on. He's counting on Ruchit Patel.
Yeah, because Pokiris is not here, we don't want to ask those kind of questions to Glad at this point. If Pokiris would have been here, we would definitely ask those questions. This is just me. Parthibai, back to you.
No, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question from my end.
Mm-hmm.
What is the score which will be put on target by the first, whoever bats first?
I think 90 plus would be 90. Anything 90 plus would be a winning total.
Let's see who comes closer. I'm saying 84.
Okay. 84.
84, precise.
Wow. Go ahead, government.
Yeah, I'm saying 90. Anything 90 plus, I think would be a winning
pick
total.
a number. Let's see who gets close. Pick a number.
Maybe 91.
91. Okay.
Just the wild.
Yeah. All right. If Glads goes first, 100. If Pokiris goes first, 75.
100, exact 100. Huh?
100. I mean, I'll be the closest unless someone picks 120.
I'm saying either way, either team bats, I'm picking 84.
So you have 84, 100, and what is the
91.
91. Okay.
Let's see who comes closer. Plus or minus 2. All right. We are.
You want the stats?
End of the show. It's almost 3 hours now. So let's wrap it up.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. I know we've talked a lot. Hopefully, the contest lives up and we have a great final. And we meet again next year. So again, congratulations, Glads, for reaching the finals, and all the best to both of you guys. Hopefully, it's the third time for you guys as well. So see you on the field. Satya, see you on the field. We'll see you virtually.
By the way, are you guys doing that ACN then? Is that how it's going to be done?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So that'll have the score and everything.
Yeah, the link was sent out. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere. So you should have the link.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I mean, it's not the Crick Clubs one, right? It's the other one, the ACN.
Yeah.
CN1.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll hear me and Gabaji again talking. So you should recognize that.
Who are the commentators?
It's me and Gabaji to start with, and we'll probably get some guests around us. We'll get them to talk and all. That's what we've done in the 90 finals. We've got people to come and join us, we'll ask them a couple of questions. People like Chanakya and people like those guys.
Maybe in the inning break we can include Vijubhai and get his nerve also.
Yeah, that guy.
It is possible, Vijubhai. You can join from the India, and
if it wasn't Glads, I would have definitely wanted Viju to join. But since it's Glads playing, I don't know how much pressure and how much emotions.
Maybe in inning break, a short interview you can do with the Vijubhai.
Yeah, we'll send you the link. You can join Viju live.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining.
See you.
See you next week.
All right.
See you next season again. Thank you, guys.
Yep.